Hey, you guys. Hi. It's Yvonne. And it's George. Wait a minute. I got
Yay.
it. And it's George. I'm so
Okay.
excited. You guys know I am, right? You guys know he's my favorite. Yes. Okay. So we finally got George on. What a crazy couple of months it's been for George. So I feel really lucky between, catastrophes and all the busy shows. So I'm real lucky. Anyways, hi, everybody. Let George say hi. Oh, I want to say hi to Zeno. Xenomorph is in the chat hanging out, okay? So
Thank
hi,
you.
Zeno.
Yes. Hi, and thank you for helping me get this prepared, Zeno. So I'm here. Yay. And it's so great. I'm so excited to do this. We've been kind of putting it off because of my crazy life, but Yvonne is also a favorite of mine, and I am just so excited to do something with her again.
Yay. So we're going to have a sale, and we have brought some fun things. As usual, I do budget friendly. I do have a couple, I've got a Murano, I've got some glass, I've got one high-end piece just to show if anybody's in the mood. And then, of course, George and I have a little giveaway at the end to say thank you. We appreciate you guys. You guys know that, right? I think we both tell you all the time. We appreciate you. My shot caller today is Sean. She does a great job for me. So George and I kind of like to do the going once, going twice. You do that too, right? Going once, going twice.
I do. It's a little more like what a real auction is like.
Yeah.
And, that's your cue. If you hear that, we're getting close, then that's your time. Put in your bid. And I think you do just in case so they can bid whatever they think they're willing to pay.
We'll do just in case, both of us. You have to be an active bidder on that item, of course, to do the just in case. You can't just like come in all ninja like, but so let's see. I do want to tell you guys that it's extremely windy, high gusts of winds for some reason here in Colorado again today. I did lose internet for 2.5 minutes. If I lose it again, George is going to stabilize us. He'll be here, and then I'll try to get back in, okay? Hopefully it sounds like it's calming down, so hopefully we'll be okay. I rarely lose internet. I'm pretty stable, but it's so windy out. So what else did I want to say? I'll run a ticker for those of you that are new on what you need to do. Our email addresses are underneath our faces. And so after we call that, Sean will give you guys about 5-second little wait before she puts in item closed. She's the final shot caller, item closed. After that, George and I will look at it because she's putting it in. And so, you know how that goes. You hear it on every sale. You see your own post first. But when she puts that in, George and I and all of us will look at it, and then we'll come to a consensus. And then Sean, once we say it, Sean will type it out, for the final whatever. If you have any questions, please let us know. We're going to trade off back and forth and do an item each. And let's go and have some fun, you guys.
Yeah, and Yvonne's going to go first.
Oh, okay. Aha. Speaking of going first, I sure hope we get to go up against each other in Dom's thrift battle. You won your second round, right?
I've only done my first round, and the person who was supposed to face off with me in the second round, they changed their business in some way, and it didn't make sense for them to do it anymore. And I said, that's great. I'll go forward by forfeit. And Dom was like, oh, no. So he had 2 other people compete, and I am going up against the winner of that. So, so we'll have to wait until the semifinals, quarterfinals. I think we're in the round of 16 now or something, if I understand right.
Yeah. So you win, okay? And I'm
going to try really hard.
Win mine. I think I can get mine. I've been saving some stuff. I think I told you what it was, but I'm not going to say it out loud. Whoever I go against is coming on. But I just think it would be so much fun to go up against you as the finale. But
it would be so fun. I would really enjoy that. So we'll see how it goes. I'm in show season, and part of the problem for me is good merchandise comes and then goes really quickly. So I have got to start saving for that. But I have a few things in mind.
Okay, let me run a ticker. There it is.
Oh, someone's asking if we ship to Australia, and I have tried. I wanted to do international shipping. I have tried eBay's international whatever, and they have a 100% success record at breaking everything I ship. So I'm really reluctant to send overseas unless it's something that you're willing to pay for me to pad really, 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 really well.
I'll do Canada because I've done it and it's relatively easy to do through pirate ship. So I'm sorry, you guys. Anything else? Maybe you know a friend in the United States and you know, I'll be glad to ship it to that person and then you guys can take it from there. I know that's an added extra cost, but if it's something you really, really want. So I hope that's okay. I'm sorry. It's just, there's just a little bit more of a risk, and Australia is probably not one of them, but that's just what we're going to say. Okay. So there's the ticker is running. I'll run it periodically for anybody that's new, but most of you know how this works. When you win an item, send us your YouTube name, your real name, okay? Because it's probably not the same. Your PayPal address so we can send you an invoice, unless in my case you're sending me a personal check, which is cool. That's so fine. You just have to wait for my bank to tell me that they're happy with it before I ship. And your real address, complete, okay? Make sure it's right. Okay, so I will make myself bigger and start. Let me remember how to do this. Let me see what that looks like. You know, the reason I like to just do solo is then in between you have time to, if you need to go whatever, get a drink or whatever. So I'm just gonna do solo, okay? Because I like that little couple minutes to, I might even get up and leave for a minute, you know. So okay. So hi you guys. And a new shirt that I just got yesterday. I hand washed it so I could wear it today. I got it with Becky. If you guys saw that video, but you didn't see me grab this. But it's just a reminder for all of us that we are enough, okay? We be kind and tough and powerful. What is they loved, valued, and there's some more down there. Brave, bold, smart. Yes, okay, we are enough. So let's not be hard on ourselves for anything. I know this has been a rough couple of years. Have no clue what 2022 is going to look like, but we can do it. So let's start off with something. I want to start off with this. You guys are probably pretty over Christmas, but if you wanted a ceramic Christmas tree and you didn't get one this year because the prices did go up, I found one more after Christmas. Some of you saw me get this. It's a newer one. It's another one of the little tiny ones that takes a battery, okay? So, and it does work. So if you didn't get you a ceramic Christmas tree that lights up, here's a nice little affordable one that you can stash away pretty easily, okay? So if anybody's interested, we will start this at $5. We'll start this at $5. Thank you, Shelby. Hi, Stephanie. Hi. So, did anybody miss out on a little ceramic Christmas tree and just really, really wants one for next year? It just takes a battery, on and off switch, but it's cute. How tall is this? Let me get my ruler. It's just a little baby boo, 5 inches. I know. I sold the other one with all my other Christmas. I sold all the ceramic Christmas on my first dibs. Thanks, y'all. That was awesome. And they all made it. Woo! Talk about sweating shipping, but they all made it. I double boxed most of them, of course. Anyways, $5. It's cute. It's just like the big ones, but it's a little baby boo, 5 inches. And there you go. Little battery. We'll give a couple seconds of just looking at it and chatting, and then I'll start the little countdown on this. It's a great ornament. It is. You can take this off and just set it on your shelf, though. You just need about a 5.5, 6 inch clearance, okay? Hi, Nat. Hi, everybody. Okay. We'll go ahead and count this little baby boo down. Going once, going twice. Last call. Sean will wait a few seconds to cover the lag, you guys, and then she'll put an item closed. I hope you all had a good Christmas, by the way. Happy New Year. I think I fell asleep by 10. So, hi, Miho. jumps in at 8. You probably got about 2 seconds before Sean calls it. Okay, you guys? Item closed. All right. Miho, I got you. I hope I'm saying your name right. You've bought from me before. I know who you are. But just to keep me straight, still, when this is over, send me an email and, put in the title. If you buy more, I'll start you a box. What do you think, George? You ready? I'm going to bring you in.
I think I'm ready. I am so happy to be here and welcome everybody. And thank you very much for joining us for this. We're going to have a lot of fun. I think we each have, 15 or 18 or some number of items. And I see some people I don't know. So thank you very much for joining. If I already know you and you've bought from me before, I probably have your information, but do send me that email anyway to let me know for sure. And if I haven't met you before, then she's putting all the information we need in there in the ticker. So I'm going to start off. I hope this is okay. I actually should have asked Yvonne about this, but I'm going to do this as a choice and I'll hold both up. So whoever is the high bidder can buy one or both of these for the same price. And the reason I'm doing that is because they're very similar. So we are starting these at $10 choice, and I'm going to hold them up and talk to you. So the opening bid is $10 and you get either one, or if you want both, they'd be $10 each or whatever the high bid is. These are feather bird pictures, and these were done in the 1940s and 50s especially, actually even all the way back to the 30s, but they were mainly done in Mexico. So these are real feathers. I'm going to hold it up where you can see it a little better, hopefully. I've got kind of a double camera thing going, so you may see a little bit of a glare. There we go. That gets a better light on it. So this is starting at $10. So what they would do is they would take real feathers and make bird images out of them, kind of like like they would do with the silhouettes, but they would do it on under the glass. This has domed glass, and then they would hand paint all of these flowers and the branches for the bird to sit on. And this one has a store tag on it that says it is from Anderson, Indiana, which is where Misty of Thrifter Junker Vintage Hunter is from originally. That's her hometown. That's where she and her husband met. So I thought that was kind of interesting that something came from the same place as Misty did. This one is about 7 inches around. The other one, and you can have your choice of either or both, is black rim. And this is also 1940s. This one has a little more basic design, but the black rim really shows it off nicely. And it is also all feathers. This is supposed to look sort of like a cardinal here. And I just think these are really cool. I started buying these years ago and people were like, what are you doing? That's just tourist stuff from Mexico. And I'm like, oh, there's going to be people interested in this. And it was actually an American guy named Glenn Bastian who actually came up with this idea, but it's all based on old Toltec, ancient bird feather regalia that they would wear and all this stuff. So I think they're really cool. 7 inches diameter, yes. And this one is about 7 inches tall and maybe about 4 or 5 inches across. So whoever wins this is getting their choice of one or the other or both. And Isabel is at $10. And we're going to wind down pretty quickly here. So if anyone else is interested, this is your fair warning. Get in now, because otherwise one or both of these are going to go. And I'm going to hold them up one more time. Well, let's see how I do this. Hold them up one more time so you can see your choice. And we are going once, going twice. And I'm going to let Sean put in the thing closing this item. So we're going to close real quickly here. And if you want to get in, now's your chance.
We're looking for 12 or more. Patty's in at 11.
Looking for 12 or more and hold closer to the camera. Good idea. There we go. So just waiting to see if that's our end bid or if anyone else gets in. I'm just waiting on Sean to let us know when we are done here.
I see a just in case of 20.
Oh, my goodness.
Isabel likes that.
Item closed. Okay, Isabel, you get your choice of one or both of these. If you want to put in the comments, and I'll look for that while Yvonne does her next item. And let me know, Isabel, if you want one or both of these for $12. That's your choice. So I think we've got it.
Okay, Oh, those were cute. Okay. You guys watch my videos, some of you, right? Oh, hey, by the way, if you don't know Georgia Antique Nomad, well, first of all, I'm going to be crunchy. I don't know where you've been because we all talk about him. But anyways, do subscribe to him. You will appreciate it. And I didn't put his, someone can grab his channel. He's got two, but at least grab his main channel and put it down, or I'll do it when it's George's turn. But I think most of you know George by now. Anyways, you guys saw me pick up a little piece of Fenton the other day. Yes. Blue hobnail with the opalescent. And if I say something wrong, George, I hopefully will correct me. But I verified it with Becky too. She sells a lot of Fenton and goes to the shows. But the little tiny vase. I don't know if these were sold together, but I found it like that together. So you don't necessarily have to put them together. That's just how I found it at the thrift store. You guys saw me do that. Anyways, let's start this little set at 18. No chips, cracks, or repairs, I promise. Not yet. Easy, Yvonne. So, super cute. I'm not good enough at my Fenton to know the date of this. There's no birthmark. I think that's one of the ways I would work on telling. But I love the opalescent. So it's cute. That does sit in there, and it does match quite nicely. But you don't have to. You guys like this. Yay, thank you. So we're at 20 from Shelby. So we're looking for 20 or more. Do you have any questions? Do I need to measure anything for clearance? The little one is what? Almost 4. So if you set them together, we're going to be at 5 1/4. If you were going, your shelf clearance is what I'm talking about. We're at 5 1/4. The diameter on the ruffled dish with the hobnail is, that's upside down, about 5 inches at the longest points on that diameter. Hi. So if you're an active bidder, you may put in a just in case. Remember to refresh often and make sure you are in live chat and not top chat, okay? I'm going to start calling on this. Anybody have any questions before I start calling it? Shelby's back at 22. Okay, you can put in a just in case if you're an active bidder on this item. Going once. Going twice. And item is closed. Sean will wait a few seconds. You probably have a couple more seconds before Sean puts in item closed. She's got a little bit of lag just like y'all do from the time I'm talking to the time it gets, to you guys. See a just in case of 27 from Shelby. So we're looking for 28 or more before Sean puts it in, which is there it is. Thank you, Sean. So Shelby, let me look at this. Shelby had a just in case, so it would be 26. Shelby, $26 for this set. Does everybody agree? Shelby at 26, Sean, unless somebody disagrees with that. I think we're good. I'm just writing, and then I'm going to bring George back. Make sure everything that I'm reading that right. Okay, here you go, George, coming in. Well, the reason I say 26 is because Kitschy Corner came in at 20. Kitschy Corner came in at 25. So it'd be $1 above that. Okay. Here you go, George.
Yes, that's what I got too. And that's
Thank
how the
you.
just in case works. So, yeah, someone was asking, can they do just in case? And yes, you can. And it means that it's $1 more than whatever the high bid at the point where item closed appears on the screen. And because Sean's putting it in for us, you're seeing it about when we're seeing it. So we have to go based on that. Okay, so the next item I have, I brought some pretty glass pieces. Oh, actually, really quickly before I get into this, though, this one has iridescence, and it made me think of something. I need to thank Yvonne, and this is a great chance to do it in person. She tipped me off that Raku was coming back into the market as a collectible, and I sold my first piece of Raku this last weekend, thanks to
Oh,
you, Yvonne.
awesome.
And yes, it was very neat, and they were very happy to get it, and they were very excited, and they said, yes, it is definitely coming back. So now this isn't Raku, this is glass, but it is iridized because it's carnival glass. This is a Jack in the Pulpit vase, and we're going to start this one out at $12. So $12 is your opening bid on this. And I'll tell you a little about it and why I think it's very cute and very special. It's a blue color. I'm going to try to get it up really close to the camera so you can see it's a blue, but it's got a real purplish tone to it. So it's almost to purple. It's that sort of dark, like a periwinkle blue, but really dark. And this is by a good company of a little later era. And when I say later, I'm talking like 1980s, called Gibson. See, to me, 1980s is later. And they produced up until the early 2000s. And this one is 2001. So this is one of the last things that they did. It is crackle, and so you can see the crackling. I'm going to turn it around real slowly so you can see it's got a nice carnival sheen. Now, the iridescence is something that they put on using a metallic oxide. They basically, when the glass comes out of the furnace and it's still sort of hot, like a few hundred degrees when it's cooling down, that's when they spray it with the metallic iridescence. And that's why you don't want to use Windex or scrubbers on these, because you can take that pretty shine right off. But this one has really nice shine all over. In fact, so much it might be making it hard to see the piece. So let me pull it back so you can see it a little bit better. It's called a Jack in the Pulpit because, as you can see, kind of like the flowers called Jack in the Pulpit, you've got this big sort of this piece that comes up and then this big open. And if it was a real flower, of course, that's where all the stamen and all the good stuff would be. But I just think this is really neat. Gibson is a West Virginia producer. They're one of the last glass studios left in West Virginia. And it's just got such shine. I think it's a really neat color. It is about 6 inches tall up to the top. And it just has a really nice glow to it. I think they did very nice work, and it was all done by hand. It's all hand blown. They didn't want a messy pontil, and so they would actually use a tool that would emboss their name on the bottom. That's why you don't see a blow mark, but you can see here where it's been sanded to be flat on the bottom. So that's definitely indicative of hand-blown glass. Just a really nice piece. And I see that I think Lisa Hemphill is at $21. There's no chips, cracks, or damage on this. The spadix would be in there. Thank you. Zeno is quite knowledgeable about botany, and I stand there and go, pretty flower. And he says, yes, but it's, and then he can tell you the nerd name in Latin. And it's interesting being with someone who's brilliant about things that you don't know anything about. Anyway, this is cool. I like it. It looks like you folks like it. We're at $22. And I think that we're going to wind down here. So, and yes, we will invoice you. You send the information, we'll invoice you, and then we will figure out shipping to where you are. And one of the reasons the items I'm showing you today are all on the small side is because I'm in Florida, and a lot of you are far away. So I'm picking items that are going to be fairly small, so they should ship for, I think, mostly under $10, even if you're far across the country. So we are going once, we are going twice, and we are at the point where I am ready to sell. So we're going to wait for Sean to put that in there and let everybody know that we are at the end of the thing. So this is your last chance, folks.
I see a just in case from Leslie of 30.
Okay, and we'll see if that takes the day or if someone else comes in at the last minute here.
Probably got a few more seconds.
Yeah, we'll just see. As soon as Sean gets that in there, it's done. She is the arbiter of the end of the sale, which is great because it means that I don't have to be. I just love the shape of these. I never knew what a Jack in the Pulpit was before I got into glass. Okay, so Leslie, I believe that the high bid before you was 22, and so that means, Leslie, you get it for $23, and thank you. It's nice to meet you. You're a new buyer to me, so send me your information and we'll get that shipped out.
I agree, 23 for Leslie. Okay. Oh, this is so crazy. Couldn't find out anything. There's nothing else like it, and there's no markings. You guys remember me buying this a couple weeks ago? This is a pitcher, and it's got the ice strainer. It is so cool. See this? I tested it. It works when I cleaned it. This is the ice strainer or whatever. If it's maybe you've made tea with tea bags. It is so fun. Look at that. Ceramic in baby blue. What kind of whale is that? That has this on it? I don't know, but it's just cute. Little baby whale pitcher with the strainer. Okay, and let me give you measurements, and I'll tell you what we'll start it at. So we're going to start this at $8. You guys know I got a good deal on it. It's perfect shape, you guys, I promise. We'll start it at $8. It's probably contemporary, of course, but how can you pass up this cuteness? Couldn't find anything just like it. I mean, there are a lot of whale pictures, but nothing as cute as this. Bye, Peter. Sean, will you remove Peter? Super cute. Oh, he might have been saying what kind of whale this was. My bad. Hang on, don't remove him. He might have been saying what kind of whale this was because I asked. Sorry, Peter. I just panicked when I saw that word. I thought, oh no, troll. Anyways, so let's see. Susan's at 12. So cute. Okay, it sits flat like this. Sorry about that, Peter. If you were just trying to help, I'm so sorry. Sits flat like this. Nice handle for gripping. So cute. I should have measured how much it will hold because, you know, you can't fill it up too far. You don't want it to come past there. But I bet you it'll hold a couple like, you know, little small tumblers, whatever size that is, or mugs of tea or whatever, water. So cute. Baleen whale. Don't know. I'm just calling it a cutie pie and very unique. So where are we at? I saw Susan was at for this at 12. Okay, I think we'll start the countdown. Remember, you guys, refresh often and make sure that your chat is on live chat and not top chat, or you won't see everything. So go all good for watering plants. That's cute. Yeah, because it sprinkles. It's got 5 holes. It sprinkles. It's adorable. Nice glaze on it too. Going once. Going twice. And last call for the blue pitcher with the strainer. So we got Susan at 12. You might have a few seconds before Sean puts in the call. It strains the liquid through the baleen, I guess. I don't know what that word means, Morph. Just waiting on Sean or any other offers. Smiley, happy guy. There we go. Thank you. So let me look. Where was it? Susan for 12. Thanks, love. I'm in Colorado. I'm in the middle of the country, so shipping's usually not too bad. They took off. I use FedEx when things are heavy, or I always check FedEx and UPS to see what's the cheapest. Okay, but USPS, the post office, did remove their extra add-on for Christmas, so prices are down a little bit from what it was. Okay, I'm going to bring in George.
Okay, and I'm just making a note here. Never bring a sperm whale to a family show. Got it.
I was like, remove him. I'm so sorry. I just
I have to say,
multitasking.
I think that might be my favorite live sale moment yet. Anyhow, yes, I believe Zeno once again is correct about that. They strain the plankton out with the baleen. It sort of looks like brushes, almost like they've got fuller brushes in their teeth or something. But that was very cute, and I can think of so many horrible jokes that would get me uninvited to participate in live sales again. So I'm going to just leave them all behind. So my next item is a little box, and I've noticed that people really, oh, hey, Elsie, nice to see you in the chat. I've noticed that people really like little boxes now, and I always have, and they're handy, you know, like collectors say, if it's in a box, it's a collection, right? Well, I always thought that these were made in India, but it turns out that this one is made in the good old US of A, and it's all hand decorated. So this is starting at $12. It is about 5 inches around. 5 inches in diameter and about 3 inches high. So it'd be great for little pieces of jewelry. If you want something cute to throw your keys in, so they're not just sitting there, if you keep them on the desk by the drawer so that you don't miss them when you're leaving the house. And I see we've got a couple of bidders at 12, and whoever is the first bidder in the event of a tie is the one who wins it. So bear that in mind. But this one is by and this does have some age. This is about 25 years old. This is by a woman named Linda Tong, who does lacquerware by Linda, or she did at least at the time. And the time on this one, again, this was, okay, it's not quite as old as I said. It's about 15 years old. It's 2007 when she did this. And she did it for someone, and that's why it says Karen underneath. But all of this hand decorating, it's really intricate. I'm going to just show you the lid for a minute because I think it's so pretty. And she has this big tag inside too, which is great because I don't have to make this stuff up. I can just tell you what she said. She said the techniques of lacquerware originated in China and northern Siam as far back as 3,000 years ago. And after modern containers came out, people stopped doing this after the Second World War until hippies started liking this sort of design and finding it from places in India. And that sort of spread to American artists who now are making it too. So this one is American. I think it's just really pretty. It's got this really great black sort of background so that all of the lacquerware really shows well. And they literally use pastry tubes and things like that to do these designs, so that they control the flow of the glaze onto the lacquer. So they basically have to coat it several times in black lacquer, and then they do all the painting by hand. And it's really meticulous. It's very time consuming. And you can tell by all of the detail on there. They use little tiny, like single feather brushes to pull the blue out, for example. I'll hold it up where you can see how really, really detailed all of that is. We've got Patty at 18, but actually Lynn at 18 was our high bidder. So Lynn is still the high bidder. I just think it's such a pretty piece and just has so much detail. And I like multicolored personally. So I just think it's really cool. We've got Patty and Lynn in a tie again at 20. And now Patty is the first bidder. And let me see if there's anything else I can tell you about this. I don't think there is, other than just look how intricate the detail on this is. Let me try. I'm having to hold things way out. So if it seems shaky, it's because I'm holding it at like full extension here. I just had a show this weekend too, so I'm a little bit tired. We had the show in West Palm Beach, Florida, and it was really fun. The first show of the new year, and it went really well, and people were excited to get out. So that was neat to see. So Patty at 22 is our current high bidder, and I think that we are going once. We are going twice, and I'm going to say closed on my end. So get your just in cases in, because Sean will close this auction for us. And as soon as it says item closed, then that's it. So we'll just wait for that. But yes, there is a lot of technique, Shelby. I agree. I mean, it just really, this is not something I could do. It's very, very meticulous, and I don't have the patience for it. I'm sure this took hours to make one little box.
It's like that Mindy tattoo stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm always so impressed with people who are really artistic this way. And it's got a liner in it too, so that, if you're putting stuff in there, it's not going to rattle around and chip and stuff. And we have Patty was at 22 and had a just in case, but 22 will take it, Patty. And thank you very much. I will look forward to hearing from you. And I've got $22 down there for you.
Okay, I'm coming in. Well, guess what I did? I ran downstairs real quick. I'm going to show you why. You guys, I just bought this the other day. I don't know anything about it. There's no markings. But I was like, wait, so this seems to be wood or something. And it's got that same, where's my whiteboard? Okay, I'll have to find it. It's got that same kind of pattern on it. And look at that little candle in there. The candle has not been burnt. The wick is good. But if you like this, yeah, I don't know. I think, like George said, I always think Middle Eastern, because it seems like, when 60s and 70s and everybody was like getting turned on and like doing what was it called? The meditation and the yogi and that kind of religion, that kind of spiritual. Do I say religion? And so a lot of this look did become popular, and some people attribute it to like the bohemian style that kind of picked up in the 70s. George is probably better at this than me, but isn't that cute? So if anybody likes this one or you want to add it to your other piece, we'll just start this at 8. Let me see how tall it is. It's about 4 inches, not quite. It's a little flower candle. Cute. And come in and then come back out, and sometimes it will.
Matches your fingernails.
Oh, yeah. I see 3 people at 8. So y'all have to talk about that. There we go. Shelby at 9. That's cute. It's about 4 inches. I don't know why I keep holding it crooked. There we go. Okay. Let's do a count. Oh, it's the pattern is all the way around, y'all. And it's I think it's wood, some resin and wood, plastic, resin to look like wood. Let me call it like that, but don't hold me to it, okay? I just got this the other day. So anyways, if you're an active bidder, you can put in a just in case. I'm going to start it going once, going twice. Last call on this. Sean will be putting in a bid end in a few seconds to cover the lag. So we're looking for 11 or more until Sean calls it. Cute. I wouldn't want to burn that candle though, unless I knew where I could get something else so cute. But it looks pretty votive size, common votive size if you did have fun and burn the candle. Okay, Sean should be putting that in any second. There we go. We have Sharon Carter. Okie doke. Well, that was just a last minute tap in since because of what George brought. So here you come, George.
Cool. It's fun when there's multiples of similar items because, we like bringing things that you like. So if you tell us you like one thing, you probably get more. And I brought this because I've had success with this in other live sales. And this is just a great size. Again, I'm trying to give smaller things that won't cost a lot to ship. But this is a trunk vase. And there's a few things I can tell you about it. Let me hold it back near me first so you get a sense of the size. It is 9 inches tall. And this is from about 1910. This is Carnival glass, and this is OG Carnival glass. Yvonne and I talk a lot about being OG, and as far as Carnival glass goes, this is OG. So this is going to start at $15. They're worth probably 3 times that, so somebody might get a real deal out of this. So 15 is the opening price on this, and let me show you a little more. Now, a lot of collectors call them trunk vases because you notice it sort of looks like tree trunk, but this is really the original form. It's almost like a swung vase. Everyone's crazy about 1960s swung vases, and I've noticed that a lot of people are getting really excited about Carnival glass trunk vases too, because they have that same sort of effect. And what they would do with these is they do them in a mold, and then they would pull them, much like swinging the vase makes the big swung vases. Well, this one they would pull, and that would make the pattern stretch and elongate. And they could do these up to, like, I've seen them as tall as like 30 inches. This one's a nice little 9-inch one. This is marigold, and marigold is that particular color of like an orange glass that they did these on. And this one probably was done by Fenton, but a lot of companies did similar pieces, so I can't swear to that. Lots of companies did these back in the day. They're also sometimes referred to as carnation vases. We think of roses as being the romantic flower, but around 1910, the Gibson girls really liked carnations. So when these were made, a lot of them were made and sold through florists, and they'd come with a carnation in the top, and that was something that you gave. See, a rose meant that you were like really hot to trot and in love, and that might be a little scary, especially on the first date. So you brought a carnation because that was a little bit more demure. So carnations were very popular back then, and so I've heard some collectors call these carnation vases. They ended up being called Carnival glass because by the 20s, when the Depression glass replaced this, well, then they started selling these at carnivals as prizes. And so that's why they have that name. But originally, they were trying to emulate what Tiffany was doing, where they were making glass look like precious metals. And a lot of different companies did it because it was really popular for quite a while. And yeah, approximate age on this, Jana, is going to be 1910. So it's a nice old one. We have 3 people at $25 right now. So right now, Christine K at 25 is going to be the top bidder because she had her bid in first. So you folks might want to get your just in cases in because we're getting close to the end of this particular option. Simply Sue's Vintage is at 26. And as a florist, I can tell you nowadays a carnation means you're dead. Oh, that's interesting. I thought that was just lilies. Well, send this with a nice rose then, unless it's somebody you really don't like, and then send a carnation. But anyway, I just like the way that these open up at the top. They're fun because if you put a few flowers in, they sort of fall into the shapes, and so it's easy to arrange. You don't have to be particularly skillful to make a nice flower arrangement with these. Susan S is at 27, but we do have a just in case. So I'm going to say that we are at fair warning and time to get your last bids in because we're going once. We are going twice. And on my end, we are closed, but we're going to wait for Sean to put the closed in, and that's how we'll know who the high bidder is. So we're just waiting for that to come, but someone is going to end up with this lovely vase. I thought it was really neat. I buy these every time I see them. I always have, and it's so neat that a new generation of people are interested in them now. So let's see where we are here. Just waiting for Thrifty Hippie. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, it is fun to know more about these. And once in a while, you'll see them out in the wild because some people don't realize how old they are. And so sometimes people give them away not knowing better. So we're just waiting for that close here. And when that comes up, we'll know who our high bidder is. And we're just waiting. I used to give a dentist that would give every patient a carnation. Oh boy. Now that we know what carnations mean, that's not a very good sign, Stephanie. But anyhow, let's see. We're just waiting there. Sean, okay. Sean got in the item closed, and Carol had a just in case of 40. Unfortunately, Christine's came in afterwards, but our high bid At that point was Christine K had a 38. So Carol, $39 is your purchase price on this. So $39, and it goes to Carol Shantz. And thank you so much. And we'll you've got our information there to get a hold of us, and then we'll invoice you.
Nice. Let's see what I want. I got some unique things here. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I have a vintage ceramic pink flamingo.
Oh, no fair. I don't get to bid.
Oh, sorry. Actually, there's one in your box too that has a thermometer in it and says Florida. It's in your box.
Oh, that's so neat.
You know how I build you a box so when you come down, it covers your gas to make the side trip.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was $1.99. I'm like, yeah, he could probably get more for that.
Yay.
Okay, I'm trying to find my white. Okay, you guys can see it, right? Sorry, I meant to find it. It's cute. Let's see. I want to start this. These actually sell for more than I thought. They really do. Let's start this at 10. Even though this isn't marked, there's a guy that makes these. It's real popular. I'm so sorry, I already forgot when I was doing my research, where they go for like a lot of money. But even these sell on eBay for somewhere around 20 to 25 in good condition. So that's cute. So we're at 12. Let me measure it for you guys in case you need shelf clearance.
And I'm going to interrupt here and just say, in Florida, we get 35 to 45 for those.
Oh, for this?
Yep.
Do you know whose it is, even though it's unmarked?
I think it's Lane. Brad Keeler made those, but his always have his signature.
Are those the ones that I saw that were like almost $100?
Yeah.
I've sold his lobster plates. Good money.
Mm-hmm.
By the way. Sorry, you guys. You learn a lot here, too, because George is here. So, where are we at? 18. Okay, we're at Lisa. Sweet Picks, $20. Okay, does anybody need any more information? It's in good shape. There's no chips or repairs. Beautiful color scheme. All right. Hi, Christina. Going once. Going twice. You can put in a just in case if you're an active bidder. And last call. You've got a few seconds before Sean puts in item closed. If you want to squeeze in a bid or a just in case, you probably have about 5 or 6 seconds. We're looking for 26 or more. I was going to take this to the booth, but I'm in Colorado. So I'm like, okay. So I think we have Eileen Thomas at 25. Does everybody agree? Eileen Thomas at 25. And I'm going to bring George back in. You guys can holler at me if I did that wrong. Coming in, George.
Now, that seemed right to me, and that was a great deal. I think that Eileen should be very happy with that. That was a good pickup. They did a standing one and a stooped one, and then they even had little bowls they would stand in that looked like they were in a pond or something. Very 50s. Anyhow, I have another silhouette. This will be my, I think, last silhouette of the evening. I say another one. Actually, the first one I did was a feather bird, so never mind. I think this is my only silhouette of the evening. And this is from the 1930s, and it is going to start at $12. So $12 is your starting price. I'll hold it up a little closer so you can see more of the detail. I think this is very pretty with the flower base in it. And you can see on the back where it has the gold foil and a bluish silver and a greenish silver foil. And what they were doing is they realized that the butterfly wing pictures were very popular in this time in the early 30s. It was the Depression. Everyone was trying to figure out how to make a buck. So they said, well, let's make silhouettes that have the look of butterfly wings using a colored foil on the back. And so that's how these got started being made. I can show you the back. This one is by the Reliance company, and Reliance was one of several big makers of these, but it has all the information about it on here, including the fact that they were emulating the butterfly wings. And I'm going to hold it up to the camera where I can hopefully show you a lot of the up close detail. Silhouettes are reverse painted on glass. It's like a screen painting, and then they would leave part of that glass blank so that you could see through it, and then whatever is behind it, if it's a picture or foil or whatever, gives it that dimension. So it's three-dimensional. If you break the glass, you've broken the picture because the black paint is on the glass on the back side. And it does have this, my color in here is a little yellowish because of my lighting tonight, but this actually is an ivory colored background. So the way it shows is pretty true to color. So what you see is what you get here. And I just think they're really neat. I see that Laura Orton is at $30. I had a very nice viewer in Indianapolis who invited me up to buy things, and it was great timing because we have the tornadoes in Kentucky. I couldn't really go shopping, and I needed stuff for the Florida season, so I got to go up and buy a bunch of stuff from them all at once. That was really kind of them. And this was one of the items. And they tell all about it on the back here, but I just think it's really cute. This one was made in Chicago, I believe, but there was a company in Iowa that did these. A lot of these were done for advertising purposes. I should measure this. I didn't think to do that. This is a little bit on the larger side. Usually you see, you know, courting couples and things like that on silhouettes, but this one's a little different, and it is 11 inches tall by 7 inches wide. So 11 by 7 is the size here. And we've got Isabel at 50 is our high bidder currently. And I just think it's really pretty. The frame's in good shape. It is, of course, the original frame with the gold piping here. I just think it's really neat. And I do like this time period. I'm going to say fair warning here. So get your last bids and your just in cases in, because on my end, I am calling going once. I'm calling going twice. And I am going to tell Sean this is the time. And so as soon as Sean puts item closed in, whoever our high bidder is, this will be yours. I'm glad that you folks enjoyed this as much as I do. I thought this was a really pretty piece, and I am just really excited every time I see these. I've never gotten tired of silhouettes. I had a friend early time in the business who really just loved these, and she had a whole wall full of them. And she, when I was pretty new in the business, she said, "Oh, I see you like those silhouettes. You should come to my house." And I went to her house, and wow, it was amazing seeing them all together. When you have a big collection of anything and it's all together, it all looks good. So, okay, Isabel had a just in case of 57, but Isabel was bidding against herself. So Isabel, you get it for $50. And I thank you very much. I'll put it in the pile with your feather bird pictures, and we'll get those out to you.
Good job. That was lovely, George. Okay, I'm going to do, I have some good stuff. Okay, this is an Imperial. I found my whiteboard. There we go. This is Imperial purple slag glass with birds on it. We're just starting this at $6. It's Imperial. There's the mark in there, the I and the G. Little birthmark inside. There's the bottom. It's in really good shape. Nice little pretty colorway. Can you see the birds? There's several birds around. And let me get my black light. I don't know if you would call this glow though. So maybe George can help. Well, that's not going to work. I forget. It doesn't really work on film. Okay, so when I put the black light on it in the dark, it's like the purple lights up, but I don't know what that means because the UV light is purple. I don't know. It doesn't like glow like the green or the orange or the yellow, but I will tell you, if you have a uranium case or whatever with the black light, if you have a display case and you put this in there, it is going to show like more purple because it's a dark purple now. Imperial glass. I like that mold mark on the bottom too. Again, the birthmark is inside IG. The handle's kind of cute too. Little kind of, maybe you could say Art Deco-ish handle. Anyways, 1, 2, 3 birds on it and some branches. So we're at 12. There you go. It's just cute. There's the inside. Okay, so we're looking for 14 or more. Going once. Going twice. And last call on this. And Sean will put in item closed. You've got a few more seconds before Sean puts in item closed to squeeze in a bid if you like this. Imperial glass. The mark is in there, if you can see it at the bottom. IG. Cute pattern on the bottom, so if you're using it, that's cute. There we go. Thank you, Sean. Sean works so hard. I want you guys to know, though, I send Sean little thank you gifts. I've sent her money before, and she just about had a fit, but whatever. So I send her little gifts for all the hard work that she does, okay? Let's see. So we are Shelby. I'll add. No, wait a minute. Oh, Heidi, just barely, girl. Heidi. We're at Shelby. I'll add that to your pile, Shelby, for 13. Hey, I also want to say real quick to Heidi. She's up in Denver. She's an eBay seller too, and an awesome picker herself. I've met her and her husband. And I'm going to go up pretty quick, maybe even this Friday, and drop off some stuff that she's bought from me. And we're going to go shopping with my eldest daughter up at the Hampton Street Market, a big indoor antique vendor mall that I've never been to. So that'll be fun, you guys. So watch out for that. I'm hoping if the weather is right, I get to go up this Friday. That's what she and I have planned. Heidi, I haven't sent you that yet because I just wanted to keep an eye on the weather. All right. There you go, George.
Oh, that sounds like fun. I haven't been to that place. Is that new?
I don't know. It's on, it's on Hampton, I guess. Yeah. We went to Brass Armadillo, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
This one's more closer, like if you're going to go to, like if you're headed down toward Broadway where all the other ones are. Anyways, I'll let you know how it is.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's exciting. Denver is a great place to shop, actually. Yvonne's really in a good place. Denver is good. Colorado Springs is good. The thrifts are good. The antique stores are good. It's a great, great area. Kind of makes sense. All the railroad lines used to run through there. So they got stuff from all over the country that ended up in Denver that they wouldn't necessarily expect. Anyhow, my next item is this little bird here. For some of you up north, the birds have all flown away, but this one is with me here in Florida. And the color, again, I'm sorry that my color is just a little bit off. It's pretty true to what you're seeing here. It's a little pinker, maybe, and a little less orange. It's like a melon color on the breast. So, but this one is a sweet little bird. It's starting at only $10. So $10 is your starting bid. And this is made of porcelain. This is by a Danish company, but it's not one of the two big ones that we're used to hearing of. This one is by a company called DC, and it's got the DC Copenhagen, Denmark mark on the bottom. Let me get, there we go. This is what Zeno was trying to help me set up. Let me show you this again in the, I'm going to turn this light away so that you're just getting the light from the camera, because this is more true of the color. So this is what it actually looks like. There you go. You see the blues better. You see the pinks better. This is why he was trying to help me set up the camera before the show here. And I thank him for that, because now you're getting the true color. And it's just a very sweet little bird. It's good quality. It's about 3.5 inches tall and about 3.5 inches to the back of the tail. I'm not very good with my birds as far as knowing what's what, other than the really obvious ones. It's not a cardinal. It's not a blue jay. It's not a yellow warbler, and I get sort of stuck after that. But it's very sweet. It's good quality. A lot of these smaller Danish companies, kind of came and went in the mid 20th century, early to mid 20th century, but a lot of them were people who worked for Royal Copenhagen or worked for Bing and Grondel. In fact, Bing and Grondel actually worked for Royal Copenhagen at first, and then left and formed their own thing. So they all have that same sort of look and that sort of similar colorway. They all go very well together because they all come from that same heritage. And it looks like a bluebird that lives around here. Okay, so maybe a Kentucky bluebird of some sort. And there it is up close, so you can really see the detail. I'm always so impressed by the detail in pieces like this because someone has to literally make a statue, like a bronze statue of something, and then they have to cast a master mold from that, and then they cast the production molds from that. So it's a very lengthy process. So anything you see in porcelain or pottery like this started out as an actual sculpture. So a ton of work and a ton of artistry goes into all of these things that you make. So don't take it for granted. Somebody really works hard on these. I don't do a lot of new stuff, but I've got to say, even the new stuff coming from overseas, somebody works very hard to make these things. We've got Patty at $20 is our high bidder. And this little guy is just ready to be somewhere. Well, he flew south with me for the winter, but he'll be happy to live with you as long as you keep him inside in a warm place. Female robin, someone is saying, and that certainly could be too, because I see some of the browns on there, and I know the females usually, the women, you know, it's the men who have to show off in the bird realm to get attention. So the girls oftentimes are more brown. Patty at 22 is our high bidder, and I'm going to wind this down. There's no chips, cracks, or damage, so anyone who's interested, this is your last call, because we are going once, we are going twice, and we are closed on my end. We're just going to wait for Sean to put that up, and that's when it will be official. I just think it's a really pretty piece, and I'm glad that you folks are enjoying these things that I brought. I really tried to choose some things that were small but of good quality so that we could all have some fun together, and I could send you some nice things. I'm in Florida for shows, so things are going from a distance. Laura says she has tons of these outside the window, so she knows. That's great. Well, thank you for the ID, Laura, and thank you, Patty. Shinkaruk, you are the high bidder at $24.
Okay, coming in. I want to sell a bird. I've got a bluebird of happiness too. Ha ha. But let's do this one. This one is contemporary, but it's just all the rage. So you guys know I get real crunchy on some contemporary stuff that's made in China. I do. Like Temptations, Pioneer Woman. You guys have heard me like get real crunchy about that. And I have to watch my man, because I know some of you love it. But I'm just like, anyways, you've heard that rant, and you'll hear it again probably a couple other times. But I did finally break down and do a Jim Shore. And it's probably my only one. It's just this one was so darn cute. This one is called In Fine Feathers. It does say that underneath there. So I did do a contemporary Jim Shore, and we will just start it at $6. It's in good shape. Any of you are into the Jim Shore, or just are into collecting birdies and you want to gratuitously have one, let's see, 5 inches this way. Shelf clearance, you're going to need, it's 4.5, so. We do have some Jim Shore. I will admit they're cute as can be. Like they look like carved wood, but sound like resin. I've never bothered to look up what they're making these out of. But this one was so cute. So this will probably be my one and only Jim Shore. Okay, so we're at 15 for Sherry. I'm going to count this down. You can put in a just in case if you are an active bidder on this little Jim Shore birdie. This one is titled In Fine Feathers. Going once. Going twice. Last call. You probably have about 5 or 6 seconds to put in a just in case or a higher bid. You have to have been an active bidder to put in a just in case. But I'll admit, Jim Shore, you designed a cutie. I just wish you would have stuff made here. We need the good paying jobs. That's all I'm saying, you guys. That's all. Item closed. Thank you, Sean. Where are we at here? Oh, boy. Bobby Jansky, $1,516. Sold. Let's see. 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, Bobby, it looks like you get it for 20. Does that look right, you guys? 20. Thank you, Bobby. Okay, I'm going to bring George back in.
We had an estate sale once where they had tons of Jim Shore, and I got to tell you, not one of them was as colorful and fun as that one. So I think that was very cute.
Yeah, so, so forgive me, Antique Nomad.
No. No, I know. Hey, you know what? I occasionally buy things that are recent vintage too. I realize I'm more of a stuffy purist because that's just my role, but that doesn't mean that there aren't plenty of nice things that are being made that are not old enough to be vintage, but are definitely of value and, good design. And we're all gonna, I was talking to someone this weekend about how I'm selling things now that I wouldn't let people bring into the antique malls when I started because they were too new. So time marches on.
Luckily, I'm sorry, I'll leave in a minute. Luckily at my vendor mall, which I'm doing really good at the new one. You guys know that.
Oh, good.
It's a better mall. I'm doing great. I can have a certain amount of newer items if they're like collectible. And so in my brain, and you tell me, George, that this is a popular collectible, right?
Oh, absolutely. When we had that estate sale, she probably had 100 pieces, and I'd say we sold 75 or 80 of them. And people were very excited because some of them had been discontinued. And even though they were only a few years old, they couldn't get them anymore. So yeah, no, it's a legit thing. Absolutely. And I think that places that mix old and new are great as long as they're honest about how they represent it, because there are customers for both, and sometimes they're the same customer.
It's going to be weird because just think like our whatever underneath us coming up, the millennials or the whatever, when they start selling some vintage stuff, a lot of it's going to be made in China. I don't know how we're going to deal with that, but anyways.
Well, it's going to be their nostalgia and what they grew up with. So, and some of those things are going to be worth a bunch of money. So we just all move on. Speaking of which, I'm going to move on to my next piece. And it is a very sweet little, and it's not large. It's about 5.5 inches wide. But this is a nice little controlled bubble Murano bowl. And I'll hold it up a little closer so you can see the bubbles. And this is starting at $12. I love this color personally. This is what I refer to as Capri blue. That's what the American companies called it. Of course, the Isle of Capri is off of Italy, so maybe they call it something else. Azzurri, I guess, is blue in Italian. So this is starting at 12, and I just thought it was really nicely done. It's got a great shape. I really like the color. You can tell it's hand blown. They polished the bottom, of course, so it would sit flat. When they say controlled bubbles, see how the bubbles all spiral out from the inside so that they have nice even rows? That takes a certain type of technique. Blanco used to make things with little seed bubbles in it. They would literally throw a potato into the glass while it was really hot, and it would cause all these little seed bubbles, but they're very random. This is something that an artist actually made sure the bubbles went in at just the right places so that they would have a pattern to them. And the first piece I ever got, I started by collecting coins when I was 6 years old, but the first time my parents took me to an antique shop, I was 10, and they said, you can buy one thing that you like as long as you're good, and I got a controlled bubble green paperweight from Italy, and I still have it. I just thought it was so fascinating that they could make all those bubbles in something that's molten at 1500 degrees and keep them all so uniform and even. I just think it has a really neat look. People usually use these for candy or bonbons or little things, but it does have indentations. I mean, I suppose it could be used as an ashtray if you really wanted to. I just think it's a great color. It's a good design. And I do believe this is Murano rather than Venice. The piece is made, Venice is a city and Murano is an island off of Venice. And people are always calling those things interchangeably, but they're not really the same. The stuff made on the mainland in Venice is usually not quite as good quality as the stuff made on the island. And so I think this is actually from the island. Doesn't have any marks or a paper label. They didn't really do that back then. But gosh, we have 41. Patty is our current high bidder. I just think it's just really pretty, and I am partial to these. It sits about 3 inches tall. I'll put it up to the other camera so that you can really see the color. It just sparkles. I just think that's so nice. I just got this. I got this at the West Palm Beach Antique Show, the one that I just did. I bought this Sunday morning. So this is as fresh can be in terms of my inventory. I didn't even put it out at the show. I saw it and I thought, oh, this will be really fun to share with the folks on the live sale. So I put it aside for you. And we are at a just in case of 42 is our current high bid. And I'm going to say it's time to shut this one down. So we are going once. We are going twice, and we are closed on my end. We're just waiting for that to come up in the chat, and that'll tell us who our high bidder is.
The color is great, Joyce. Yes.
I do really love this color. It's just one of my favorites. It looks like the ocean. It looks like the sky. It's just very happy to me.
Happy and fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, fresh. Exactly. Fresh for the New Year's. Okay, so Patty had a just in case of 45, and the high bid before was 42, so $43. Patty, it's yours for 43, and thank you very much. I think it's a very pretty piece. I hope you enjoy it.
George, that was beautiful. I'm going to do my, I think this is a Murano. I hope so. Murano, Summerso. I actually have kept this for a while, but I have to thin out my collection because my husband, I told you guys, has decided that you guys are not going to one-up him on the smileys. So he has started collecting smileys with me too. And so I had to get another shelf unit and clear it off. And so I think I'll go ahead and let this go. Although, where's my board? This is one of the prettiest ones that I've had. Let me get the board so you can see the different colors. It's not coming through. George, can I call this Summerso even though it's only green, light blue, and blue? It's green, light blue, and cobalt. I don't think you can see it.
Yeah, it's, I think that's fair. I mean, it's definitely Summerso or Summerso type, and it is definitely Murano. It's really good quality, and you can tell by the clarity in the glass, it's a good piece.
Yeah, it's heavy. It feels good. I'll show you the bottom. It's not coming through. It's like the green's not coming through like I can see. But there's the pontil. The pontil disc was smooth, but of course it has the scratching, which is typical with age, right? I love the cute little swirly pattern. So sometimes you can see the green, but it's cobalt, a light blue, like a sky blue, and then a little bit of green up here that comes through every once in a while. Darn, I wish you guys could see how pretty this is. Anyways, what I wanted to start this one at 25. This is a heavy one too. I wish you guys could see how pretty this is. It's so much prettier than it's coming across.
Yeah, it's got a little more two-tone. I've seen that piece before, and yeah, they'll be happy when they get it.
Yeah, you'll be like, this is way prettier than what I even knew I was getting. It does kind of, this little dippy curly hue does kind of go into like a light baby blue just right there. There you can kind of see some of the other turquoise or sky blue and a little bit of the green. Because like when I think of Summerso, which George puts a better flair on it, I think it's Italian, right? Yeah, Italian Murano. Summerso, which means like submerse or something like that, derivative of submerse. I don't know how the technique is. Typically, I think of more distinct, but George says I can still call this Summerso. Where are we at? Oh, you guys are bidding on it. Yes. Well, thank you. I promise. And if you get it and you say this ain't, I imagined it prettier, Yvonne, like you said, and it ain't, no, then I'll take it back. But I promise. George is vouching for it too. He's seen these. So the Ponto disc is about the size of a 50-cent piece. So it's really pretty. I'm going to start calling this, you guys. So you could, if you're an active bidder, you can put in a just in case. That's not really helping. Going once. Going twice. Last call on this. Last call. You've got about 5 seconds or so before Sean hears that and puts in item closed. You can squeeze in a higher bid or a just in case until she does that. This was in my personal collection for a while. When I first started selling vintage, I'm like, I can't sell vintage if I don't have any. So I was buying some Murano and some swung vases, which I did keep quite a few of the swung vases. Okay, item closed. Thank you, Sean. Let's see. I see... Uh-oh. What do I do here? The first one, Lenny, 52. Yep. Okay. Lenny, thank you. One of my moderators. George, you know her personally too, don't you?
Yeah, she's really neat. I have met so many meeting you was so great, and I can't wait to see you again. Lynn is really terrific. A bunch of viewers came to the antique show this weekend, and when I started my channel, honestly, it was part of my mission was bringing the real world and the online world together, and it's just so fun to see that happening. So
yeah, that has happened.
Thank you all for all that. Okay, well, I'm going to put up something since we're on the bull kick here. Oh, go ahead.
No.
Oh, okay. I showed this in a video that I put out about a week or 10 days ago, talking about what I was bringing to the antique show in Florida here. And I had two that were sort of similar to this, and I decided instead of putting them both out at the show, I would put one aside for you folks. So this is Japanese lusterware from the 1930s, and this is a console bowl with a separate piece, which is a flower frog. I'm going to hold it a little closer to where you can see that. So this just rests in there, but it is two pieces. If you see these out in the wild and you don't see the flower frog, go look for a flower frog because they're supposed to have both pieces. And I just think this is so cool. It's with these interlocking birds and the way that they swim around the edge. So I'm starting this at $19. And let me get a measurement for you. So 19 is the opening bid. And I really should learn to measure this stuff before I get on, but I never think of it. It is 7.5 inches in diameter, and it is about 3 inches tall. I just think it's really cool. It's got the birds and it's got the frog that goes in the middle. They call them flower frogs, flower arrangers. It was really popular in the 20s and 30s to do little floats of flowers and other things and then have a big flower arrangement in the middle of a table. I think this is really fun. You could use it as a candy dish if you wanted. It certainly could be used for other things. It looks like I have a cigarette in my ear. Yeah, that's my AirPod, and when it goes bad, I'll put the other one in my ear. That's why I don't wear both at the same time. Yeah, I remember my dad was a smoker. He always had a cigarette behind his ear, and it does kind of look like that. Anyway, I like these because I like Japanese lusterware. When I was new in the business, there was a dealer in our mall who had a space that was nothing but Japanese lusterware. And back then, he could sell like over $1,000 a month in this stuff. It was very popular. And I think people are liking it again now. It's got blue luster and the orange luster, and it's got the made in Japan mark on the bottom next to that star in the foot. Now, they only did these for a few years. They did a ton of different varieties of lusterware in Japan at that time, and a little bit was done in Czechoslovakia and places too, but it was mainly Japan. And the thing is that it came out about 1934. And it was the Depression, but it wasn't terribly expensive then, so people started buying it. It is porcelain, so it's actually a pretty good material. And then by 1937, the Japanese had invaded China and we weren't doing business with them anymore. So all of this stuff that we really got in like a 3-year period. So I see these around, but I don't see a ton of them. Duck, duck, goose. Yes, that's right. And they've got the nice little red paint on them. These are not scratched or worn off. This is not something you want to use Windex or abrasives on if you're cleaning it. By the way, you really do want to use something that is very, very light detergent and just sort of pat it. But the good thing is these really don't need cleaning. They're in great shape. And we've got Isabel at 27 is our high bidder. I just think that there's something really interesting about this design to me. So there it is in its entirety. And yes, I think the ducks are really fun. If this was Jeffrey's channel, he would probably make quacking noises. I'm not quite as fun as Jeffrey in that way. So I'll leave that to your imagination. But we're going to go ahead and wind this down now. So this is your last chance. If anyone else is interested in getting on the bidding on this, we're at $27 and we are going once. We are going twice. And we are at the end, and we'll just wait for that to come up in the chat to know who the ultimate high bidder is. Even the bottom has a lustrous finish on it. I always thought that was really neat. Hey, it's Angie. Hi, Angie. I haven't seen you in the chat for a long time. It's nice to see you. And we've got a couple of bids that came in right at the end during that shadow period. So we'll see who the winner is here in just a moment or two. It's really nice to have all of you with us. Okay, item closed, and Isabel had a just in case of 32, and that's so she gets it for 31. So she was just a touch ahead of you, Dorothy. I'm sorry about that, but Isabel, that is yours for $31.
Nice. Nice. Okay, I have Westmoreland Nesting Lovebirds. Kind of I don't know what color you call this. I'm sorry, you guys. I should have looked it up. It's kind of like an amber, but then also depending on where you put this, how the light hits it, it can have a little bit of like a salmon peachy tone. And again, depending on how you display this, some areas are going to be lighter than others and some are darker. You know what I mean? So it's really pretty. It does have, there's no flaws on it. And I'm trying to find, I don't know if you can see that, but it does have the birthmark for Westmoreland. Let that focus for a minute. There you go. You can kind of see it. Little nesting lovebirds. And we will start this at 20.
Oh, Yvonne, real quickly. Someone's asking if they can bid on items or buy items if they haven't joined. I don't know how you do that. Do they need to register?
You haven't joined? I don't need you to pre-register, just if you buy something. And I know who you are, Vintage Vigo. Do you require pre-registration? I mean, I see that person around. Yeah. Just if you buy something, then send us your info so we can get it to you, so we can bill you and get it to you.
And that is satin glass, Nantique. You're right.
Oh, sorry. Satin glass. Do you happen to know the name of the color?
I think it's an amber, just like you said that they do the satin on. And I have to be honest, I am not a fan of amber usually, but I love their satin amber. There is just something, it changes that color and it gives it so much dimension. I'm just really partial to that. And I always like that piece.
It's kind of gives it, the satin, I guess, kind of gives it like it's been slightly smoked or something. It's really pretty. The birds are adorable. You guys, I checked the beaks, the tails. This was in my personal collection too. I kept the Westmoreland satin blue one that has one, I can't remember the name of that one. It has one bird, one big bird in a nest. I kept that one, and I'm gonna let this one go. But this was in my collection for about a year. So I hope somebody gives it a new home and loves it. I wish there was a way to show how, like I said, depending on how you choose to display it, is gonna dictate, the different colors. So you can kind of see it's not a solid color. Some parts are darker than the other. It's really lovely. Okay. Oh, you guys are bidding. Okay. I think I will do a countdown on this. One moment, please. Remove. Okay, there we go. Hi, Sherry. Okay, going once. You can put a just in case or a higher bid until Sean puts in the item closed. Going twice. Last call. Again, you've got a few seconds before Sean gets that done. Creme brulee. Yes, Morph. Zeno. Thank you. Zeno's on it. Very creme brulee. Caramely. Butterscotchy. You know, but sometimes like glass companies have, like, they give things their own color name. You know, like you taught me, George, my swung vase by, who's that by, Viking, was Blue Neek.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's peacock and then there's Blue Neek and blah, blah, blah. So I was just wondering if you knew. Item closed. Okay. Bobby wants this. So I think if I read it right, I see Bobby for 41.
That's what I got.
Thank you. Yeah, that sounds good, doesn't it? Kitchen corner, creme brulee, yum. That sounds good right now. Okay, thank you. Bobby, I'll add it. Bringing George back.
All right. Oh, I keep sitting back thinking I can relax. I got to be on this here. Okay. Let's see here. So I thought I'd do something different. I don't know if we have jewelry buyers in the crowd, but I am going to give, this is going to be choice, meaning that whoever is the high bidder can choose one or the other at the high bid price, or if they want both, they can have both at that price each. So if you bid $10 under the high bidder, then you could have one for $10 or two for $20 total. These are sterling and marcasite pins, and I'll hold them up individually. I know they're kind of far where you can't really see them yet. So let me hold this first one up. These were, sterling and marcasite was really popular in the 1920s and really popular again in the 1980s. These are 1980s. Let me try to get this in. There we go. Now I think you can see the color and the detail a little better. This has an onyx stone in the middle. The marcasites are these little minerals that shine on the edge. That are these little gray stones, and they do reflect light, as you'll see when I get it around. You'll be able to see a little bit of the reflection off of the light. They're very pretty, and they're very wearable, and they will catch the light and sparkle a little more than what I can show you here. They look great on like a solid color blouse or a dress or a nice scarf. People will use them as scarf pins sometimes. And again, we're starting these at $12 each. So $12 is the starting bid. And then here's the other one. This is more of a modernist design. This one, because it's more of a flat shape, you can see the sparkle better on the way I have the light here. The other one's very sparkly in reality as well. But this one is neat because it's three sort of interlaced half circles. And I just think that this is a really cute piece. They are both set in sterling. That was very popular to do in the 1980s. Sterling was a lot less expensive in the 1980s than it is now. The price of sterling has gone up almost sixfold since then. So at the time these were made, they were fairly inexpensive fashion pieces. And now they're actually considered semi-precious jewelry because they've got marcasites, which are a semi-precious stone, and they have sterling mounts. So I think these are really neat. They do have sterling marks on them. The marks are so small, I don't know if you'll even be able to see them, but they are definitely what they say. And then here's the other one. This one is the one with the onyx in the middle. And I think this is nice because it's, there we go. Now we're getting some of that sparkle in it. I think you just can see it's got this curlicue. It's got this nice, strong, dark center stone. So if you put it on, say, a white fabric, I even have one costume jewelry collector who puts these on white t-shirts and wears them. And she's like, the t-shirt's just the background. I want them to look at the jewelry. And she'll wear like 5 or 10 pins at a time. And it's very flashy and a lot of fun. So we've got Charlotte at $20 as our high bidder there. And there is a little bit more of that flash that you can see as it goes by. I just think these are really neat. They're nice for formal dress, but they're just enough fun in the designs that they could be casual as well. And this one with the geometry here is very 1980s. and the 80s are coming back. I just think they're really cool. So I'm glad that you folks seem to be enjoying them too. I think that there's a lot to be said for this stuff. I just think they're really a lot of fun, and I like vintage costume jewelry a lot. I'm hopefully going to buy a big collection soon because I'm kind of running low on it. So I debated whether to put these out, but I thought, I didn't get to do my last couple of live sales in December because we had the tornado and these were going to be in it. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to show them tonight. So
these are choice, right, George?
These are choice. So it's one or the other at the price you bid, or if you want both, you can have both. So the high bidder gets to choose one or both. And we are going to wind this down, I think. So this is your last chance to get your bids in because we are going once. We are going twice. And we are sold. And we'll wait for Sean to put in the final closing here so that we know who the high bidder is going to be. And then they will get to tell us in the chat which one or both that they want at the high bid price. So as soon as that closes, we'll announce who it is. And then if they can just put in the comments which one or if they want both of them. Okay, item closed. And Charlotte at $28, you are the high bidder. So Charlotte Murphy, if you will let us know in the chat if you are interested in the geometric. Ooh, it looks like I'm from India. Or if you are interested in the one with the onyx, or if you are interested in both, you may have both. And it's $28 for either one. And actually, if you want to go on, Yvonne, and do your next thing, I can look in the chat and I'll make a note of which one or ones that she wants.
I'm sorry, there was one of them I wanted too, so I'm waiting to see if she only takes the one and leaves the one that I wanted.
Yes.
Oh, I can't, can I? Because then it would go to the next person. Then it would go to Elsie.
Just the one with the onyx. Okay, very good.
Okay, is anybody taking the other one?
Well, Elsie was the backup, so if Elsie wants the other one, then you can let us know in the chat, Elsie. The one that was left is this one with the geometrics. And
hang on, hang on just a minute, George. Okay, the other one.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Elsie. We'll get that one to you.
Well, nice, Elsie. That's a beautiful one. That's the one I love. So if you ever get tired of it, hit me up, okay? That was lovely. Okay. What should I do? I didn't bring up any jewelry because I've got a jewelry sale coming up, but I did bring a vintage purse. This is a vintage Dorset Rex. DORSET, second word Rex. And let's start this at 30. So we've got black. I think I can call this lucite. The hardware is gold, and the supporting structures are gold, and this is silver. And when I say gold, I mean gold tone, of course, right? And it does have its stands. Little, sorry. Multitasking. You guys know how I get after a while. Multitasking, I struggle for words. Let me open it up and I can show you the name inside. You can still kind of read it. Sometimes they have a tag. This one has it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's kind of faded, but it says in there Dorset Rex 5th Avenue. So it is black satiny material lined. Tell me if you need any dimensions. I love this.
I know that this is your thing, but I just have to interject. It's so much nicer looking in black. It comes in other colors. It's definitely, the black is the sharp thing. And I've never seen one where the metal was so perfect. It doesn't have any tarnish at all.
No dents. Yeah, I was pretty happy when I found this. It's been over a year because I couldn't make up my mind if I wanted to sell it or not. Yeah, it's in really good shape because this, to me, has kind of like an Art Deco vibe that was mixed with my 70s stuff. Yeah, look at it, you guys. You can go on eBay real quick. I'll slow down if you want to compare prices. kind of know what you're getting into if you don't know this brand. The handle's good. The hardware's good. The only thing that's a little faded is the gold stamping of the name in there, but you can still tilt it in good light and see it says Dorset Rex, 5th Avenue. Where did I find it? I go thrifting and at thrift stores, estate sales, garage sales, and antique vendor malls. What era is it from? George, will you help me on that? 50s?
50s, yeah. The lucite purses, they started in New York in the 50s, and they became really popular in Miami, and a bunch of people started making them there too. And it was a big rage for probably like 8 or 10 years.
Cute, huh?
Yeah. Oh, it's great. I love lucite purses. It's one of my favorite things to buy.
Well, next time you come down, we'll go thrifting again, George.
Yay.
I'm going to do the countdown. Going once, going twice, last call. And this got George's seal of approval for condition. Thank you, love. And we're looking for item closed. Sean, I got it. Here we go. Oh, thank you. So we have Eileen Thomas for 70. Thank you. I think this will be the first time. Is this a first time purchase, Eileen? Just send me your info. I'm glad you're getting this. I hope you really, really love it. Well, you're paying for it, so thank you so much, because I do love that. I love almost everything I buy. George, do you love everything you buy? Like, I just do.
You know, it's funny, even things that I wouldn't personally want to own for myself, I get so fascinated with who likes this, what is it that appeals to them, and it just wears off on me. And then the next thing I know, I'm like, wow, this is really great because they did this and they did that. And I just have so much respect for all the people who made and designed all this stuff and, you know, really put their life's work into this. So yeah, actually, it is easy to fall in love with the stuff you buy. As a dealer, you have to kind of go, okay, but I bought it to sell.
Right. But I
or
do
else you end up being a hoarder.
I have a fondness for everything I pick up. I think that's what helps make you successful, is because, you know, you love this stuff. Can't wait to rehome it. All right, George, it's your turn, hon.
Okay, well, we did some high fashion there, and now I think it's time for something cute. And this one is cute, and it's little, and will probably be recognizable to a lot of you because it is a Hummel figurine. And I'm going to bring him into the better light so you see the true colors. This one is the little boy playing the horn with the little warbler on his boot. I think this one's called Singing Lesson. Sometimes they have the name of it on a decal on the side. This one doesn't. I'm starting this at just $10. It's about a 2.5 inch tall by 3 inch. So it's one of the smaller ones. It has what they call the stylized B mark and West Germany. And so that tells us, let me get that way up close so you can see it. See that little thing up in the V? That is supposed to be a bumblebee. That was their mark. And the first mark they didn't even have that. Then they started putting the B's in the mark, and the first B is a big fat B. And then they made these more stylized. This was done between 1959 and 1972. The condition is perfect on this. I don't get them unless they're in perfect shape, because there's lots of little points that could get damaged. These became so popular in that era because the Franciscan nun actually came up with these designs before the Second World War. Hitler did not like the fact that they were made by a nun, so he wouldn't let them make any during the war. And then a year after the war ended, she died. But her designs were so good, and that's why they're called Hummel. That was her last name. I believe it was Maria Innocencia Hummel. And so sometimes you'll see M.I. Hummel on them. And I just think that they're really darling. The older ones have really nice paint. You can see the detail. I mean, look at the eyes there. It's very expressive. And I think that's why people really loved these. And what happened is the GIs caught on to them when they were stationed over there and started sending them back to the United States, where they'd been completely unheard of. And all of a sudden they became this big collecting thing. So that's why you see a lot of them in the USA. And they're very three-dimensional. I mean, they have design all the way around. They were not meant to be put in the back of a cabinet necessarily. They could sit down on a table and you'd see something from all the different dimensions. So I just think he's really cute. I'm noticing that the prices had really skyrocketed on these on one point, and then they came back down. And I'm noticing now that they're a little less expensive, that a lot of new collectors are getting interested in them, which I think is great because they're more accessible again now. And you can see the shading and the painting. It's really subtle. It just has, it's all hand glazed, and then they fire it to keep the glaze on. I just think they're really well done and very cherubic. And I think they're neat. And I'm sure that Sister Maria is probably very delighted to look down and see that people are still enjoying her work that she started all those years ago. So I am going to say that if there's no other bids, I think we're going to go ahead and wind this down, and we will call this going once, going twice, and sold. And we'll just wait for Sean to put that up. That gives a little bit of a lag. So if someone else is trying to get in here, it's your last chance. We have a high bid of 30 currently. And so we're just waiting for this to go through. And I see Patricia's comment there. And Patricia, by the way, I have your box for you finally. So I will get that done and to you tomorrow when I'm packing all of this stuff for everybody. And thank you very much, Isabel. You got it for $30. And I'm glad that it's yours, because now I'm out of Hummel. So that means I get to go shopping again.
Hi, you guys. I'm sorry about in the chat. I don't want to gossip. I'm sorry. I just didn't catch it. Okay. So sorry about that. Sorry you had to see that. I hope you understand. Okay. Oh, what do I want to do next? Okay. I have 2 pelicans. Well, let's talk about them. I've got 2 pelicans with fish in their mouth. One is lucite, one is glass. Can't hardly tell the difference, can you? This is so awesome. I kept it for a long time, but I gotta quit keeping everything. So let's do the glass one first, okay? Let me measure. 7.5 inches for shelf clearance. And we will start this at $12. This one's really cute. Now, I do want to tell you this is Asian import. I do want to tell you that, okay? But this one was just so cute. I must say they did a good job on this one. So, see the fish in its mouth? So cute. I like the mottled colors, pink to white to black with orange and yellow specks. Cobalt, wait a minute, let me make sure that's cobalt, not black. Cobalt blue, real dark blue for the base of the feet. So I got to give them kudos. They did a good job on this one. I'm kind of impressed. And the colors are cased. They're inside, if you know what I mean. They're inside the glass. You can see the clear, like coating. Yeah, I just didn't want to make a big deal out of it. Sorry, you guys. I know that was confusing. I know you guys were trying to help. I know that. I totally get that. You weren't like throwing shade. You were trying to help. That maybe I missed something. I totally get it. So where are we at on this? Hi, Heidi. We are at 12. No, wait a minute. That's somebody else. Hang on. Let me see where we're at. Yeah, 20. Jackie S. 20. I'll tell you how much it weighs. Hang on, you guys. I'll tell you how much it weighs. Yeah, it's good, definitely going to be priority, but okay. It weighs almost 2 pounds, so you know I got to protect it with a box. But I am in the middle of the country, and when things are a little heavier, I will use UPS, and it's just like significantly cheaper, I promise. Depending on where, as long as you're not crazy. Yes, there's a fish in the bill. I could probably get this to you for under $10. I bet you I can, because it's going to be a smaller box too. Yeah, no, that's okay. Like I said, I know you guys weren't harassing. You were trying to help with what you saw might be a problem. No problem. I just didn't want to, I didn't want to embarrass anybody. I'll talk to her later. I know who she is. Wait a minute, let me get this to focus, because they did a pretty good job, you guys, on this. This is one of the best little import pelicans I've ever seen. Whatever company did this, they took their time to try to level up. Yeah, a little fishy in his gullet. Okay, we're going to start a countdown on this. Going once, going twice, and last call. Cobalt blue is the feet. Last call. Sean will put an item close. She gives a little bit of room to cover for the lag, you guys. Make sure you caught that. It's 7 for shelf clearance, 7 inches. Adorable. The other one is lucite. Item closed. Where are we at here? Heidi, 25. All right, Heidi, I'll put it in your box. I will see you this Friday or next Friday. I will let you know. And I will add it to your box, hon. I don't know if this is Heidi or John or both of you, but hi. Okay, George, you ready?
Yeah. I love the pelicans. I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida, and that is the city's motto. There's pelicans on everything, including all over the place in real life. So I see them with fish in their mouth all the time.
That one wasn't bad for Asian import, right? Not too bad.
No, I agree. I've actually always liked that one. Okay, so we saw boxes earlier, and this is a little different kind of box with a more intricate design. I'll hold it a little closer to the camera in a moment, but we are starting this one at $12. And this is from Italy. This is a style called Sorrento. Let me get it up where you can really see, because it's very delicately inlaid wood. Sorrento is an area in Italy where they do this sort of thing, and Sorrento was very popular in the late 60s and early 70s as furniture. This is 6 inches square, and it is in really nice shape. You can see here, I'll get it up to the other camera where you can see the detail a little bit better, and you can see that it mixes a lot of different wood inlays. There's a lot of delicacy to it. You can see the little faces in it when you look close there. They almost look like little dragon heads. Sorrento furniture was also imported about this time, and you'll see tea carts sometimes and small pieces of furniture. I've even seen some pretty big furniture that they did. It was all knocked down in kits, and then you had to put it together when you got it to the United States. Now, it's got a keyhole there and that little pin lock. It does not have a key. I rarely see these with a key, and when they do have a key, they almost never really worked anyway. To be honest with you, that was not one of their better features. But you can see in here we have the eternal mirror there reflecting itself, but it does have a nice mirror inside. It's got a nice red felt inside. It doesn't have any stains or any damage. Nobody stuck pins into it, so it's really clean and in good shape. It's probably about 1.25 inches deep inside, so you could put things of some size in it. And it does sit flat. It's not warped, so it is in good condition. And yes, it is a surprisingly fancy mirror inside. But the Italians, they really like this sort of design, and collectors now are really into this Italian stuff. The Florenza with the gold, the Sorrento, all of these late 60s, early 70s Italian pieces are really popular in the marketplace again. And I think they should be. I've been buying and selling this stuff for years, and it seems like everyone is kind of caught up with me on that. So I do like the latch, and I do like the mirror, the way it's clipped in. And I just think this is a nice piece. Now, some of these were made as music boxes. This one wasn't, because you would see a hole or something on the bottom where the little handle would be to turn it to play music. And this doesn't have that because it wasn't made for that in the first place. And yes, the Italians are all into the styling. And we got a lot of stuff that was nice from Italy in the late 60s and early 70s because they were going through real economic upheaval. Their currency was seriously devalued, and suddenly all of these handmade things that took all this painstaking effort were suddenly cheap for us. So that's why we have the benefit of all of this now, is because there was this moment where all this handwork could be bought really inexpensively. And so that's why we have it today. And I think we're fortunate for that, because nowadays, you know, most things are made by machines. You don't really get handwork at an affordable price. So I think it's really neat. We have $40. Isabel is our current high bidder. I think it's quite a lovely piece. I got a couple of these together, and this one I thought had the most design, so I put it aside for you folks, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. And we're going to wind this down now. I'm going to call going once, going twice, and this item will be sold, and we're just waiting to see, before Sean gets the item closed in, if there's any last minute bids. But we will have a box going off to a new owner, and I'm very glad that I could bring it to you. And we're just waiting here for that final notice that the bidding is over. Hi, Kim Murphy. Nice to see you. There's a whole bunch of you I should say hello to out there, and I'm sorry it's hard to keep up with all of you. We've got the item closed, and Isabel, you have that for $40, and I thank you very much.
Hi, everyone who just came in and saying hi. Hi from me and George. Okay, here's the other Pelican. I'm pretty sure this one's vintage. This is a lucite or acrylic Pelican. I love this too. Let me get the whiteboard out. I'm going to tell you the measurements on it first, because some of you like to know shelf clearance. This is 10.5 inches tall. 10.5 inches tall. He has a fish too, a little goldfish in his gullet. And it's not too yellowed at all, not hardly at all. This is a cobalt blue. And we'll start this one at, I think this one's actually worth more than the other one. So we're going to start this one at 20 if anybody's interested. Depending on the light, it's clear here, clear. This is kind of a almost a black to blue to purple. Depends on the light. Let's see if I could help any on this. A little bit. No. A little bit. That's cute. No, Sean, this one's acrylic. This is a vintage acrylic one. I wish I could find who made it, but I just couldn't find out anything about it. I think I bought this last year, and I just, you know how, if you guys follow me, you know I love the lucite. I keep a lot of the lucite for myself because it just mixes well with my 70s stuff. Yeah. Let me see if I can try to show that again, you guys. It's really pretty. It's just, again, it's one of those things that's prettier when you get it, I promise. So kind of a dark blue to purple. Kind of ombre-ish, you know. And the fish is cute. It almost looks like a real fish. Really, I had to kind of take some second looks at it. I'm like, they did not. So, lucite Pelican, about 10.5 inches tall. I'm going to do last call on it. Where are we at? We are at 39. Going once, going twice, and last call. And we'll let Sean put in item closed. Thanks, you guys, for loving the stuff that we've brought. Thank you. Wayland pieces. Yeah, I don't think this is a Wayland. I know who you're talking about, the artist that does a lot of the sea creatures, especially like paintings and stuff. Item closed. Let's see where we're at. So, Bobby, you don't have to trump yourself because no one else did. Lindy was at 39, so 40. Y'all agree?
No,
40.
44. She bid 44 before she did the just in case.
Yeah, but I'm not going to make her, I don't have to make her do that, do I? Wait a minute. Oh, 39, and so she went to 44. Okay,
she went to 44 before the just in case.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, I don't know what's happening now. Now it's kind of a, no, it's not. It's just like if you went to a rave or, a party, or back in the 70s, if you had those black light posters, it does do something weird. Like the clear turns into like a greenish aqua. So, if you wanted to put it in your uranium case or whatever, but you lose the vibrancy of the fish. All right. So wait a minute, where are we at again? Bobby at 44. Thank you so much for y'all for helping me with that. Thank you, Bobby, and thank you for saving that.
Welcome back, Sammy. I see you say you're back, and it's nice to see you. Shelby, thank you. That's very kind. I have so much fun with Yvonne, and we had such a great time when I got to meet her and we went shopping, and I got to see her on both legs of my trip out west. I haven't driven back west since, so I haven't gotten to see her again, but I got a feel for kind of her vibe and what she does and what she likes. And, I watch too. I don't just do YouTube, I watch it as well. And so I tried to pick things that I thought might be sort of compatible with what she does and what you folks who watch her live sales regularly. How often do you do a live sale, Yvonne?
I've started doing maybe 2 or 3 a month. I have my consistent one with Kat every once a month on her first Wednesday. And then, I don't want to do too many because I don't want you guys to get burned out or think I'm just trying to sell you stuff all the time. But I'll probably do 2 or 3 a month.
Cool. Oh, that's fun. And I do them kind of when I have time to do them between my million other things that I do, because I'm always selling somewhere, but a lot of times it's in the real world at a show. So I was just so excited to have, when she said, well, what about January? I said, yeah, I know I can commit to January. And this is just a lot of fun. And now these next things, sometimes we like to bring, we like to step it up and bring really high end stuff that we think is going to go for a bunch of money and be a lot of fun and get everyone excited. And then sometimes I like to bring things that are just sort of cute and fun and accessible. And I would say that's what these are, because these are precious little pigs and they are a salt and pepper shaker set. And I will show you a little better in person here. They are from Mexico, but they are not tonalá. They have sunflowers painted on them. And these are from a place near where the tonalá comes from, called Tlaquepaque. It's a bigger city in that area. And Tlaquepaque is where a lot of this Mexican ceramic has been made for many, many years. And you see, they even say Mexico on their butts. So they were intended to be exported. The way that they're finished, I mean, this guy, I will say he seems like he's got a little bit of a glazed chip, but that could be in the finishing, the way that they do them. They were not meant to be expensive. They were cute things for tourists, and I just think that they're really sweet. And they are functional. They are starting at $6, so $6 is our opening bid. And they are indeed functional because you can put your salt and pepper in the bottom here. You'd probably have to use a little funnel. And then the salt and pepper comes out of their noses. Fortunately, I took it all out before I did this, because otherwise I would be destroying my computer with them right now. But they are indeed salt and pepper shakers. So that's the holes in the noses. So these little pigs start at $6. And I think that they're really cute. And Lisa Ray says you have Tlaquepaque pottery. And yes, a lot of the tan glaze, they're kissing. A lot of the tan glazes that you see in Mexico are Tlaquepaque. This is all hand painted. And this was done by people who, essentially just like tonalá, Ken Edwards came down from the United States and saw what they were doing and said, this is great, but let me refine it a little bit for you. Well, Tlaquepaque, this is what he saw when he went down there. So this is sort of the unrefined folk art version of this. And I just think they're really sweet. And I like things that are just fun. I've always liked salt and pepper shakers, and I think if they're a little crude, they're in some ways more fun. There's Mexico on his butt, and he's got a little black mark underneath. That's a glaze pop, because again, this wasn't made to be expensive. This was made to be fun. And so the glaze popped when they were making it, but we have a bid of $12 on them now. And they've got their little curly Q tails, the painting of the flower on top. I just think they're neat. I like the way their eyes are set. And pigs, I have a family member who's a shepherdess, but she lives near Philadelphia, and this couple got a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig to raise in their apartment, not realizing it would grow up to be several hundred pounds, and they ended up leaving it with her because it couldn't live in their apartment in the middle of Philadelphia anymore. And so Dudley and I became great friends every time I would go visit. He was a fixture on the farm for many years. So I just have a sort of affinity for them. And pigs are actually very clean and fastidious if you give them proper places that they can sit and do things without being in a mud hole. So I think they're really cute. And we've got Laura at $12 as our high bidder. I think we're going to go ahead and close these out here. So I will say, if there's anyone else who wants to bid, now's your chance, because we are going once, we are going twice, and we are sold. We'll just wait for Sean to put in the item closed, and then we'll know for sure who our high bidder is. But I'm glad that they're going to a new home, because I think they're just darling. And they are, oh, we're still waiting. And let's see, Trash Tastic Upcycles. I love that name, by the way. Okay, there we go. Item closed. And Laura Orton for $15. Those are yours. And thank you very much. I'm glad that we got something in there that was just a fun thing for you all.
Well, I brought salt and pepper shakers too.
You know what's so funny is we didn't coordinate this at all, and we have such similar stuff. We talked not once about what we were putting on here. We just came with it, and I can't believe how similar it is.
So these are interesting, and they turned out to be vintage Fitz and Floyd. They've got a birthmark on them on the bottom that says Fitz and Floyd USA. These are cute. They're plastic though. So I'm guessing early Fitz and Floyd. I'm guessing. It says F and F. Let me see if I can find one to zoom in and see if we can get this zoomed in. Be patient with me for just a minute, you guys, and we'll see if we can get this. Go in and back out. Maybe the black one. Let's try the black one.
Yeah, they're actually a little earlier than Fitz and Floyd, to be honest with you. F&F was a plastic molding company out of Ohio back in the 50s, so they're a little older than you thought.
So what are they? They're not Fitz and Floyd?
No, F&F was a different company. They made the Aunt Jemima and Uncle Moe's shakers, and they made a bunch of the plastic ones there. I think were something that you got when you, I think they were a premium that they gave to kids to get you to buy pet food from some company.
Okay.
I think they're cute as can be.
Thanks. Thank you, George was here, because when I saw F&F, I'm like, Fitz and Floyd, really? Nothing I've ever seen from them. Thank you, thank you. So this is F&F, some F&F company. The 50s, is that okay? The plastic stoppers though for the 50s?
Oh yeah,
okay?
yeah. Okay. They because they made all plastic, so I know that they look different than the usual, but they're really cute. I love them.
They're really cute. Okay, so we'll just start these at 5. So these are from the 50s. Salt and pepper. Thank you for helping on that. I just learned something new too. Hi, Jana. You like
Did I
these?
just hear
so
that
cute.
dog bark?
Huh?
Did I just hear that dog bark?
It's the dog next door. My dog's not that big. Highway just came home though. Stephen Highway just came home from their walk. He might come up to see me. That one says S. Does that say P? So, you know, they've got some signs of wear, but let me see if I can zoom in. So cute, though. Couldn't grab him fast enough. I'm like, that is totally different. Okay. Going once. I thought they were from Friskies. Going twice. And last call. F and F doesn't stand for anything. I'll look it up. I'll teach myself. I'll look it up in a minute. Yeah, I learned something new, Gypsy. But that makes sense because I'm like, why are they plastic? Just waiting on a last call. We've got Jana at 13. There we go. No, Highway's a little lover boy, Morph. Okay. Let me write that down, and I'm going to look that up, what George just taught us.
And someone said kennel ration, and I think that's right. Someone else said they thought Friskies, and I was thinking that too, but I think you're right. I think it was kennel ration that put those out. I think they're really great. As
a gift inside your box of
dog food? I think it might have been inside the box of dog food or something like that. I just think they're really cool. I buy them every time I see them, and they sell instantly every time I buy them.
Okay, I'm going to look it up while you guys are...
Oh, that means I have to do something. Okay.
You guys are talking with George.
Yvonne, let me ask you really quickly. When are you going to do the Bluebirds?
I have one Bluebird of Happiness, a Leo Ward. I'll do them next. You gonna do yours?
I've got a different color bird, so I'll do mine first. Just
what do you have? Cardinal of Love?
No, actually, I have a purple bird, and I'm going to show him right now. And this one, let's see if we can get it where the light is better. My light's better as I get closer to the camera. So you might not see the detail at first, but I want to show you the true color. You can see it in the tail there. This bird is purple, and it is a deep, passionate purple. It is not a Bluebird of Happiness, because this actually is before the Bluebirds of Happiness, even though it kind of looks similar other than the long tail. But this was by a company called Pilgrim Glass. And it's got its original label. And this is starting at $12. Pilgrim Glass Company is from West Virginia, or they were, and they were in business until 2001. They started in the late 40s, and in the late 50s, they hired a family of glassblowers from Venice to come over because they wanted to do Italian-style glass in West Virginia, so that it'd be a little different from Blanco and a little different from the other companies. And so they hired them. Their names were the Sandin brothers, and Mario Sandin designed all these little animals for them. And so this label with the oval was Pilgrim Glass's logo in the late 60s and 70s. So this is sometime between about 1968 and 1979 that this would have been made. And I just think it's really cool because everybody loves the Bluebirds of Happiness. And here we have a purple bird of happiness. And so I just think it's something a little different for you folks who have seen the Bluebirds, which Yvonne's going to show next. And when she mentioned to me that she had Bluebirds, I didn't tell her I had this, but I thought, oh, okay, that's why I asked her when she was going to show it, because I wanted you guys to see both, because I just think it's a neat story. One thing leads to another. So the Pilgrim bird here with the long tail, they did lots of animals. They did horses, and they did whales, and they did all sorts of stuff. But the birds, the long tails oftentimes were broken because people snapped them. They bashed them against something and broke them. So it is actually 5.5 inches from nose to tip. So it's a neat piece, and they're a little harder to find. You don't see so many of the Pilgrim animals anymore, and you rarely see them with their original label. And I just thought that was really neat. They changed that label in the 1980s. I actually ended up, when I was in Washington State, I got hired into the antique business because the couple I worked for had 3 antique malls, but they also had sort of stumbled into the factory outlet industry, and they had an outlet mall that we had to do the advertising for. And we ended up making a deal with Pilgrim Glass to open a factory outlet. And so when they were selling these things new, we actually were selling these pieces, not this particular one because the animals were out of production by then, but we were selling Pilgrim glass back in the late 80s and early 90s when it was still being produced. So I just have a particular affinity for them. And I see you guys are liking them too. We've got Lynn at $33 as our high bidder. And I think we're going to go ahead and call fair warning here. Let's see, does George have all the previous viewers and bidders info with him? If they have bid, anybody who's bid with me in the past, I do have your information. I still need you to send me an email so that I can make sure that I can invoice you properly. But I should have your information. If you're a new buyer to me, then please send all your information for sure. And this one is going once. This is going twice. And this bird is sold. And we're just waiting to see what the final total is. And Patricia, if it goes to you, I promise I will open your box, reweigh it, maybe give you a slightly bigger box and get this out to you right away because I know I owe you your other shipment. So we'll get that taken care of. Just waiting for the final to come up here and tell us if this is closed. And Lynn is at 36 and it's item closed. And Lynn, you are the high bidder. And I think that's wonderful because like I said, the Pilgrim Glass outlet used to be very close to where you live. So I'm glad that you got that. Thank you very much. And now we will see some bluebirds.
So I looked it up. Oh my gosh. How did I not know that? They're from Dayton, Ohio. That's where I was born. And Amy, you're in Ohio. You probably find a lot of that kind of stuff. They make a lot of little trinket stuff that people like to collect. Good to know. I still couldn't figure out what the F and F stood for though. It just said F and F Plastics and Mold, Dayton, Ohio. Okay, so yes, I have a Bluebird of Happiness. This is for my personal collection. I have a lot of them, so I'm thinning out duplicate dates. This is a Leo Ward, 1992. I don't know. It has a sticker, but it's also etched signed. There you go. I'm pretty sure that says 1992. Checked his beak. He's good. Little Bluebird of Happiness. We'll just start it at 10. This might be the last one because I'm kind of out of duplicate dates. So unless I find some more. Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, I went to Meadowdale High School. And then I pretty much left. I say I grew up in Dallas because I kind of left and was on my way to Colorado, but somehow ended up in Dallas and stayed for a long time. That's a youthful story. There we go. I know. I love these. And I have a red Cardinal of Love, but I do not have the purple by Pilgrim. I will be on the lookout. It would blend in nicely. He's good, you guys. The beak's good. The tail's good. A sticker and the etching. Can't get it to focus. Let me go in, and then there we go. Leo Ward, 1992. But Fitz and Floyd did use F and F, as far as I know, didn't they? Not F and F, just FF. Was there an Anderson in the middle?
I think I've mainly seen FF, but they may have done both. But they didn't do anything plastic, so that's the easy way.
Yeah, so, shame on me for not investigating more because I thought plastic, but then I just stopped. I'm like, whatever, they're cute as can be. Somebody will buy them. Hi, Sandy. Okay. An iridescent Bluebird of Happiness. Sammy, what are you talking about? I've never seen that. Have you, George?
No, that sounds cool.
Ah.
Do bluebirds have a meaning? I mean, I know that these were given with some sort of didn't they have a card with them or something that talked about bluebirds having a meaning, but I don't know what it was.
I don't know. Okay, going once, going twice, and last call. Leo Ward, 1992. I have this one's mate, 1992. I just checked, yeah. Beautiful. It is beautiful. And it just, again, it's one of those things where it depends on where you display it on, kind of the color tones that you're going to get from it. So we're just waiting. Yes, it came with a card of the meaning of Bluebird. Thank you. Thank you, Vintage. Item closed. I think I see Patricia. You're a new buyer for me. So there's my email address. That's a dedicated email just for live sales, or when you watch my Thrift with me videos or whatever else, and that you want to purchase something before it goes for sale somewhere. That's where you do that. Otherwise, contact me on Instagram or Facebook Instant Messenger, because I don't want to lose track of things that I'm selling, make people get mad at me. So all right, George, you ready?
Yeah, I sure am. I have an estate sale coming up in St. Petersburg, Florida in about 3 weeks. And the realtor gave me the key early because they knew that I was going to be doing some shows and some live sales. And the house is, I wouldn't call it a hoard, but it's really packed. And so we needed to take a few things out in advance. I don't do that very often. But in this case, I got to make an exception, and I got to bring one of them here. This is a not Wedgwood, a Waterford paperweight,
Oh, my
a
goodness.
Waterford diamond paperweight.
Look at
And
that.
this is going to start at, believe it or not, I'm starting it at just $10. We're just going to see where it goes. So $10 is the opening bid, but look at the faceting on that. Now, I know a lot of people are into color glass these days, but when you turn it in the light, look how you get all of this rainbow effect. And if you put these in a window, you're going to get color because it's going to bounce prismatically all over the room, and you're going to get this nice rainbow of colors in it. Here it is from the top, where you can really see how it really facets in layers, so it has some real depth. These pieces were being made when they were still making them in Ireland, but this was probably within the last 20 to 25 years. It does have a barcode on the bottom, and it says diamond paperweight. And you see this thing right above it that looks sort of, it's a little hard to read, but that is the signature that says Waterford. Ooh, there's some color for you, right when we don't need it.
That is so fabulous.
It's just beautiful. I mean, they did such great work. I'm a big soccer fan, and my team won a tournament, not my team, but the Seattle team won a tournament back when I was a kid. And the trophy was made by Waterford, and it was probably the size of a giant punch bowl turned upside down like a trophy. And I just have liked Waterford ever since because of that association, but also because it just gleamed under the stadium lights. It was just so incredible to look at. And so even little pieces of Waterford, I'm just so impressed by the quality of the crystal. It's just so clear. You don't see any bubbles or defects. I'm going to pull it back from the camera now so that you see kind of the overall shape. It's about just under 3 inches tall and probably 3.5 inches wide at the base. And I just think they're such great quality. I just am very partial to the stuff they did. And of course, they did vases and they did glassware and they did just about anything you can imagine. And unfortunately, it primarily is not made in Ireland anymore, but it is a great old name in crystal and just a wonderful piece, I thought. And I'm glad that you folks seem to be enjoying it as well. I'm going to say fair warning here because as much fun as this is, I know that we've been here a while, so we got to keep it moving. And so it is going once. It is going twice. And it is sold to someone. We're just waiting for that item closed to come in. And yeah, the Hope Diamond probably is even bigger than this, believe it or not. But I hear they've found an even bigger diamond than the Hope Diamond now. So we are just waiting for that bid to close officially here. And we will have, okay, we have Isabel put in a just in case of 75. We had a just in case of 70. So that makes it $71. And Isabel, I thank you very much. And I did see in your comment that your daughter got the items she ordered, and I'm glad that they got there. That's great. So thank you very much, Isabel. I really appreciate that.
Okay. Hi. Woo-hoo. I want to do this. I have a piece of Viking I found, last month. Viking Clear Madonna. That's what they call it. I just called a lady, but it does kind of have the Madonna vibes, doesn't it? It does still have the label on it. There you go. And we'll just start this at $8. It is about 5.5 inches tall. It's in good shape, you all. It's in good shape. Her face is satiny. It's not a Waterford, but it's a Viking.
I love beautiful. Viking.
Yes. Viking and Fostoria just has such a good feel. Oh. I've been collecting the Viking Georgian pattern glasses, just different colors for home use. And I found some Fostoria Jamestown. It just feels so good. You guys know, though, my favorite drinking glass is the Noritake Perspective. Yeah, she's in really good shape. She even looks pretty from the back. Oh my gosh, just a lovely little face. So you can call her whatever you want. You can attribute whatever you want to her mood and tone. But I just saw, I don't know if Viking calls it Madonna or not. I didn't go that far, but a lot of people selling it on eBay did. Excuse me. So, okay, last call. Going once, going twice. You guys know it's at the 2-hour mark. You know, this is when I get goofy and start saying really goofy things. Going
can't wait.
Going twice. Last call. Oh, you missed one. Who was I doing a sale with and it went past the 2 hour? Oh, Becky, because Becky will do a 5-hour sale. And I'm like, girl, I cannot. I think I called a knee. I couldn't think of the word knee, so I called it a leg elbow. I shouldn't even have thought of that. That cracks me up every time I think about it. Yeah, some glass just feels almost soft. Yes, isn't that weird? How that is a unique word to use for that, Vintage. That is a unique word, yes. Let me get rid of somebody. Okay, there we go. So, item is closed on that. We have Charlotte. All right, love. I'm going to bring George back in.
Okay, well, I thought that might darken up the room a little bit more, but to show this, I'll have to turn off the last light here in a minute. But let me show you the piece first. I know we are getting down to that 2-hour limit, so this might be my last one, but we'll just see what we have time for. I know we want to do a giveaway too, but I wanted to show you this first, and let me get it up in front of the other camera where you can really see the design better. This is Fenton glass, and this is custard glass. This is from the 1970s. It's got a little of its paper label left. It doesn't have a Fenton mark, so that means it's probably before about 1974, 75. It's got the signature of the person who hand painted it here. And I am starting this at $25. And the reason for that is because those of you who are familiar with Fenton's custard will know that, and I have a very tiny, tiny black light, but hopefully I'll be able to at least get the point across. I don't have my big black light with me, but it glows. It glows under a black light. It would glow even more if I had a real black light. This is a tiny, tiny one I use just to test things when I'm going through the stores, but I left my big one in Kentucky. So, but there you go. It is going to glow. You can kind of see it in the top a little bit better there. I have a strong light on my camera too, so it can only get so much. But let's see, if I take it over this way, you get the idea a little. Anyway, it is Fenton custard glass. It glows under a black light. It is a really wonderful piece. I like these chamber sticks. This would have been something they would have used in Victorian times initially. And of course, Fenton was making these in the 70s because a lot of people who were whose grandparents had raised them or had connection with them were, you know, those grandparents were born in the Victorian era. So it is a candlestick holder. There is where the candle would go on the top there. We have Helen Casey at 30 as our high bidder. So yes, it does hold a candle. They were meant to be sold individually because this would have been the thing back in the old days before people had indoor lighting. You kept one of these by your bed so that if you had to get up in the middle of the night, which I'm afraid is something that I get to experience as I get older, you would have to light a candle to go to the outhouse. Thankfully, things are a little easier nowadays, but you would carry this through the house. And so it had to have a nice stable base and a good handle hold that you could hold it. That's why it's got this little stop here so that you wouldn't accidentally drop the candle and burn the house down. So I think it's neat. I like the rose painting on it. It's very detailed. Let me get it up. You can see the actual color of the glass a little better when I get it up in front of this camera because it's got better light. And you can see that rose floral spray. I just think it's really delicate. And this was done by a fellow who he and his wife both painted for Fenton at the same time. This happens to be the fellow. His name was George S. I can't remember their last name. It was some Schlumpfel or some other very long Germanic name that I can't recall now. But he and his wife both painted for Fenton at the same time. I just think it's a really neat piece. It's satin glass. Their custard is always a satin glass, and they do that by... before they painted it, they take this piece, they do it in the color, and then satin glass is made by dunking the whole thing in an acid bath and pulling it out really fast. And that's what disturbs the finish. And that's why you get this where it's not transparent anymore. And I just think it's really neat. And we've got a bid of $31 on it. It is down to the wire here. So if you folks want to bid on this or get in a just in case, this is your moment because we are going to close this auction very shortly here, and this will go to live with a new person. So this one is going once. It is going twice. It is sold, and we'll just wait to see who the ultimate buyer is. And yeah, you're right, Sammy. It glows bright. If I had a proper black light, again, I have this teeny tiny thing that I keep on my keychain just so that I can quickly zap something in a store and say, oh yeah, it's going to glow. So we're just waiting for this to come to its conclusion here, and we'll announce who the winner is in just a second. I see Helen Casey with a just in case of 35, and the item is closed. Our high bid before that was 31, so $32. Helen Casey, you are the new owner of the lovely Fenton piece, and thank you very much. $32 is your bid.
Nice. Okay, so I'll do my last one, and then we'll do the giveaway. Excuse me. That is George's YouTube, main YouTube link. For those of you that for some reason, you're just now meeting George. So, excuse me. I've got a few more pieces, but I think it's about time to wrap it up. As you can see, I'm struggling to get the right words. So a lot of you love the crackle glass and the crystalline. Now I've got a crackle glass tile. You guys saw me buy this just 2 days ago, if you watch all my videos. So I did pick it up for you all. It's beautiful, and it's a quite large one. You guys saw me. I went up. I paid more than I usually like to pay for a buy-in because it was bigger. I know that some of you like it, and this one is just so pretty. This has got that fresh, happy color too, beachy color. So, and then you can see the broken crackle glass inside, right? So I paid $7 in tax. So can we start this at 8? Oh, let me give you a measurement. But I like the size of this one. 8 by 8. It's 8 square. But it's got pads on it. So you can just use it like that for whatever you want to do. Put something that would just like offset it. Or, I don't know, decorate some other way with it. But this one is gorgeous. Tell me if there's any information you need on this piece. Isn't that a great one, you guys? What was this, just 2 days ago? And I'm like, I'm going to get this for one of you. I know one of you wants this. Beautiful. It's got the felt on the back if you just want to use it for something. I love the size of it. So 8 by 8. Yes, it is kind of geode looking with the broken clear glass in it. Okay. Going once. Going twice. Again, it's 8" by 8". It's a little heavy. And last call. Gorgeous. This is going to make a nice accent piece for something. And item closed. Let's see. Just in case from Carrie. Oh, sorry, Bobby. So close. So 28 for Carrie? Yes. And Carrie, I don't know if you've already sent a check for your open box or not, but I'll invoice you and add this in, okay? That way, instead of separate shipping, it'll just be like, maybe like another $1 to add it to your box. And before I go back to George for his last one, and then hang on, because we're going to do a giveaway. We each have a little giveaway. I want to show you guys something. So let me write this down so I don't forget. My girl, Carrie. And what did I say? 28. Nice. That's awesome. Now, I brought this just to show, but I've got a crystalline. These are so beautiful. These always sell well for me. Even if there's no like good artist name on them, I usually still get like $30, $40 for a plate like this, even if it's like a beginner. This is not a beginner though. This is Robert Troost. It is signed on the back. Robert Troost, Troost. He's from Hawaii. Sells mostly out of the website. A plate like this one right here, this size is $125 from that website. So I'm probably going to put this up on eBay since it's in great condition, but still, resale. So you got to be a little bit under suggested manufacturer retail price. I'll probably put it up for like, I don't know, 75 or 80. But I never have a problem selling these. But I just wanted you guys to know, those of you that buy some of the more affordable crystalline from me, that I do have this. It'll probably be a few weeks before it goes up. You can see on the website all of this other work. He is from Hawaii. And this plate here, this size again, retails for $125. So I just wanted to tell you that, just in case. I didn't want any of you crystalline pottery lovers to be like, she didn't even show it to us. All right. So we'll bring back George for his last one, and then we'll do our giveaways. You're muted.
Okay. There we go. That's the first time I did that tonight. Hooray. I'm getting better. Anyway, it's just been so much fun having all of you here. And thank you so much for hosting, Yvonne. This has just been great. I've been looking forward to it so much. And I feel really happy about I feel like somehow we picked out the right stuff and you guys are enjoying it. And that feels good too. The very last piece I wanted to show is something that is just cute and just fun. And it is another piece of Fenton, but this is carnival glass and it is a Fenton shoe. This one is going to start at just $10. So $10 is your opening price on the Fenton shoe. This is carnival glass. It is heavily iridized. Now, Fenton was one of the few companies that made carnival glass both in the original period back in the teens and then again in the 1970s, 60s, 70s period. This one is one of the 60s, 70s era ones, starting at $10 here. And they did lots of shoes of glass, but I like this one because it's got all the curly cues. Again, this was something that was very popular in the Victorian era. And people would put little pins in it. They might put a piece of jewelry in it. It was just something to keep a few little things on the dresser and keep them out of other things. Fenton caught on to the fact that people had nostalgia for these things. And so they did these in all the different colors of the rainbow. And some of them they did as carnival glass. This one is marigold, meaning that it's the orange underneath. So the glass is orange, and then the iridescence is fired on at the end. It's one with the bow. They did some that have cats peeking out over the edge of them. They did various styles and different sizes of these. This particular one I should measure for you. It is 4.5 inches from point to point and about 2 inches tall. It's very thick and heavy glass, actually. Good night, Lynn. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Lynn.
And it's this one was it's got, I'm trying to read here because okay, all right, well, first of all, I'm lying to all of you, and I'm very embarrassed about that because I did not look at the bottom. This one is actually Mosser glass. This is not Fenton. So if any of you bid based on Fenton and you want to retract your bids, I will absolutely allow that, because I'm here telling you all about Fenton, and then it turns out it is Mosser. And it says so right there. Mosser glass was a competitor of Fenton's. I just didn't see this little label here. And all these years, I've been assuming Fenton made these too. So that just goes to show you that we all have things to learn. Rose's Rose is the current high bidder. But if you want to retract that bid because I misrepresented it, I will absolutely understand. However, it is a pretty piece. Mosser made good glass as well. And Mosser is a company, I think, again, out of West Virginia. Most of the glass companies were in that part of the country at the time that these were being made. West Virginia has very few glass companies left. So I'm always partial to anything made in West Virginia. Let me show you a little bit up close so that you see the design. And it's so funny. I have never seen one of these with that label before. So I learned something too. Just still think it's really nice. It's good quality. Fenton did make a bunch of these in every color of the rainbow, but so did Mosser. And there is the Mosser label where you can see it very clearly. A lot of these smaller companies are no longer doing any of this work as well. So I am just really happy to bring it to you. And I am going to call final bid on this. So currently, Roseanne is the high bidder, and again, Rose's Rose, I'm sorry, is the high bidder. And again, if you wanted it because it was Fenton, I will not obligate you to take it, but I do think it's very nice and worth the price. So we are going once, we are going twice, and we are at the final bid, and the item is closed. We're just waiting for that to come up on the screen there. And it is like a Cinderella slipper shoe. I think it's very pretty. And we're just waiting for that to come up. And then we will close out the auction portion of this for the evening. But we do have 2 giveaways. We each have one. So stay tuned for that. And Angie62 Gordon, I'm glad that you had fun at a live sale. They really are a lot of fun. It's a neat idea. Okay, the item is closed. And again, our high bidder is Rose's Rose at $25. If you have an objection to paying that for this because I changed the description in the middle of it, I will absolutely understand. But if you still want the piece, please do contact me by email. I know that we had some backup bidders. I think Jackie S. was the next high bidder. So Rose's Rose, if you decide not to take that piece, I will offer it to the backup bidder. And I thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to come in together, George.
Okay.
Hi. This was a lot of fun. Yes, I've been looking forward to this forever. Thank you. I hope we get to do it again. Maybe in a few months when you get caught up. If you see a break in your schedule, George, please, hit me up.
I would love to do it again.
Yes, it was super fun. I do think we did pick some good items. Everyone seemed to enjoy what we brought for them. I think we did a good job. I thank you all so much. We each have a giveaway, and then we'll kind of update on what we've got coming up in the near future. And then we'll say goodnight to everybody. So Um, so you guys, did you watch my video yesterday where Becky took me someplace new? She took me to Who Gives a Scrap. Oh, that was so fascinating. And we're going to go back. Definitely. That was just an incredible store. So I told you, I didn't show you what I bought, but I told you I spent $6.50 because everything was like a quarter or 50 cents or whatever. Well, I found this little lamp work type starfish. They did make a curlicue bail on it, you guys. Okay. So let me see it's got nice little colors on it. So I picked that up as a free gift. So you can put something on here and make it an ornament or decorate however you want. You can put it on a choker, which I love my chokers, or a chain. Now, that's not all. Sorry, this is a girly gift. So many of you are like, your nails. Okay. And then every once in a while I take a moment and I say, and I tell you, I do my own nails. So bear with me, George. I do my own nails. My favorite brand is Kiss. They should be they should be paying me by now. George does his own too. They should be paying me by now because I'm always shouting them out on Instagram or whatever, or when people see my nails and I do this spiel. So it's my favorite brand. They seem to be the best fitting, the most flexible, and they last the longest. They have their standard line, and then they always do limited edition. You can buy them at Walmart, at Walgreens. You can go online and buy them because I'll tell you, at the stores, there's a cult following for press-on nails. And Kiss is the best brand. So when they do their special editions, people like me are grabbing them up because it's a special edition, limited, okay? So it's like a fight to get there. And as a matter of fact, most Walmarts and Walgreens now, because of the pandemic and people not feeling too comfortable to go to the manicure, or they were closed and they had to learn to do their own nails, they now lock up most of their Kiss nails. Like they got the little thing on the hook.
Wow.
You got to ask for them. So that's the cult. That's what a cult following it is. Now, I don't know why they call them press on or stick on. Some of them do have this little backing, but I just throw that part away and I throw the glue away. But I'll talk to you more about that. But I told you guys, this limited edition, I bought 4 packs when it was on sale. Just got lucky because normally these are sold out. I bought 2 for me and 2 for giveaways. This is a pretty one. It's a nice soft pink, and then it's got a few random blings. Okay, so you'll mix and match. So I told you I was going to do that. And then I thought that kind of went nicely with it when I saw. So you can make a necklace or whatever you want out of that. Now, I will also throw in the glue that I'm always telling you guys about. I switch out the glue. I buy it like this from Walmart, back in the craft department. It's Scotch 3M. You get 5 of the little ones because you know how super glue, you're lucky once you use it once, you're lucky if you get any more. So I buy them like this, and then when I'm done, you can't get any more. So then you stick a pin for next use, put tape on it, and then the next time you stick a pin on the other side and you get the rest out. So it works for 3 sets of nails. My nails usually last me 2.5 to 3 weeks if you do them how I tell you to, or until they grow out, or I just want to change them. So you're going to get a little bit of, I can't put the cap on, it'll puncture it. I'm going to give you the little special glue. It is the same glue. You can look at the ingredients that comes with these nail kits, but it just seems to be better quality. I do want to tell you, if you are sensitive, to go read about that kind of glue. It is like none of this stuff is really great for us. You know that. None of it is. Not even using deodorant, soap, or anything, but it's not going to kill you. You're not going to put it all over your body. So, and it will naturally kind of wear off anyways, where you can just pop these off. I swear, I promise, but you'll get 2.5 to 3 weeks. Okay. So for $10 or under, you get your manicure versus what, 40 or 50, depending on where you go, plus a tip. So how many people are left in the chat? 173. George, will you write down a number between 1 and 175, just in case somebody pops in? Okay, so George has written down a number. You guys, you know my drill. Only enter one number. Pick a number between 1 and 175. Only enter one. If you make a mistake, pull one out. Okay? Now, some people are real sensitive. You can't do anything. Okay. So enter one time, only one number, and we'll narrow it down. We might have to do 2 rounds, but I will send you the little lamp work glass pendant and some nails. Now notice I clip my nails down to a workable length. So be prepared for that too. So I can't work with this length. These aren't coffins, but they're long. They're not short ones either. Okay. So we'll just give them a minute. Only enter one number between 1 and 175. I'm going to say stop here in a minute. Let's give them a moment.
And yes, Southern Mermaid, I had a sister who was pretty like Yvonne also. So yes, I am getting all of this, and I've heard it all before.
Whatever. Maybe he's going to give away something boy that I don't care about. But I had to talk about the drill because people are going to ask. They ask me all the time.
Oh yeah, no, I mean they're cool, and actually, I just it's a good thing that I stick my fingers together with super glue, just trying to fix things. I can't even imagine trying to put nails on straight, but they look great when you get them done.
Yes, and they're fun. And so since I do YouTube and I'm always showing things, I decided, a couple years ago, I was going to start doing my nails to make it more fun to watch. All right, so I'm going to put stop guessing or enters. I don't know. I'm getting ready to hit it, you guys. Does everybody put in one number? We might have to do 2 rounds. Okay, that's it. What'd you pick, George? 144?
Yep.
Okay, did anybody hit it?
I don't know that I saw that exact number. Is it then down to who's closest, or how does this work?
Okay, so now we'll pick, did anybody do 143 or 145?
The closest one I see is 139 so far.
139?
Yeah,
okay.
That's the closest number I saw.
Front or back? Okay, 139. We're going to call it Colleen Cook.
That's right.
Oh, we only had to do that once. So Colleen, send me your info, thriftyrichclub@hotmail, and I will send you out this little thank you for watching gift. And you can hit me up if you need me to repeat all that rigmarole of how I do it, because you want to prep your nails too, okay? So this is a money saver. All right, what you got, George?
Very cool. Well, my little gift, it's not a boy thingy. But it might be an Easter thingy, so I guess it could be for anyone. And if you put candy in it, it could definitely be for anyone. But I have this little porcelain Easter egg, and this is my giveaway for the evening. And I guess the way that you do this is the same thing. They're going to pick numbers and all, or you're going to pick a number, Yvonne?
If you want me to.
Yes, please. Please write down a number between, I guess, the same thing. It looks like we probably have about the same number in the chat.
181, so I'll pick at one between 1 and 185. 1 and 185.
That sounds great. And this is a nice little hand-painted porcelain egg. It is a box. It's got a little flower, a violet inside that's hand-painted also. These were done by a woman named Edith Foster out of Tampa, and she was an amateur ceramicist, but she won a whole bunch of awards at the Florida State Fair because she was really good. She actually had this in her, she sold at galleries for a while. At one time, she was asking $40 for this. So this was one that she did in the 1970s. I just thought it was a really pretty color of purple, and all the morning glories and the flowers are all painted on freehand. So this is my gift to whoever the winner of this, what do we call it? A lottery drawing? I mean, whatever it is. But in any event, this is what you're going to win. And Easter is coming. And if you're a reseller, well, it won't hurt my feelings if you sell it. But if you like it for decoration, well, then by all means, you should put your number in right now. And then we will ask Yvonne what number she picked.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to put stop. Now, if you put in more than one number, you need to take something out. Only one number. Only one entry. I'm going to give you a moment for those of you that misunderstood and put in more entries. Pick one, take them out, okay? I'll give you a minute.
And someone said, did they fill these with candy? And yes, these would have been filled with candy. They could have been used on a dresser. I mean, just any way you would use a box. But yeah, Easter candy, I think, was the #1 idea because of it being an Easter egg and all.
So I've put in stop. So y'all, I'm going to give you a couple more seconds to go through. And if you accidentally put in more than one entry, narrow it down to one that you feel is the luckiest, okay? And then I'll show it and George can call it. You'll go with 84. Okay. Oops.
92. Okay. So who has 92 or something close?
Did anybody hit it?
I see 95. I see.
That one has to go, though. 95 has to go. Okay.
Okay. I see 87. I see 99. I see 84.
No, Kitschy's got it. That one's got to go too. Okay.
Oh yeah. There's multiples of those. That's right.
Kitschy, she wants that. So sweetheart, she wants that so bad. She's gonna stick with 84. She said.
I see a 99. I see an 87. I have, okay, that's all the numbers I see. So I see an 87 and I see a 99. 87 would be closer than 99. So I think 95 is closer than 87. Oh, wait, no, but she said she went with 84 because she put a bunch of numbers in. That's right. Yeah. So 84 is her number. So
I'm calling Julie for 87.
Well, I see Patricia with 92.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
No, that's after stop.
That's after. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't see where your stop was. So we're going to go back. And I think we're back to
Judy.
87. Judy Gillespie.
If I'm saying that right. 87.
Okay. Well, Judy, send me your information and that will come to you. And that was fun. That's the first time I've ever done a giveaway. I think I'm going to try doing that again. That was actually a really neat idea. It's nice.
Wait a minute. Darn it. Oh, Ruby Rose 87. Hold up, you guys. Sorry. Ruby
Rose have more than
87.
87 is 5 away. And Judy Gillespie was 87 also. Oh, we had 2 who had the same number.
Wait a minute.
So do we have to have a...
Yeah, I'm going to write down another one between 1 and 10 and only Judy and who?
Judy and... Sorry, we're going to find it here again. Ruby Rose had 87 also.
Okay. Ruby Rose and Judy, pick a number between 1 and 10. I already wrote it down.
All right. Let's see.
Wait a minute, you guys. But yeah, some of you are after the entries close. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that was before.
Yeah.
She was early. Ruby Rose was.
Yeah.
And I think Judy got
after in. I gave a call.
Judy
so after that.
Judy got in before, it looks like.
Here we go.
The number is 6, and...
Oh, no, it's a 9. No, I'm just kidding. It's 6.
Now I'm really confused.
No, it's 6.
Okay, now somebody is saying they had 88. I'm really confused now.
No.
We called 88 first.
It's not complicated if you guys just put in one number and then stop.
Elsie and Jill both said they have 88.
I'm looking.
Sorry, folks. This is a little complicated. There's a lot of you in here. We want to make sure we're fair here, so let us do our diligence.
You guys, what your misunderstanding is, I don't know if you stepped away for a second, but those were after I said stop entries.
Oh.
They're after. I gave them all. I didn't just put it in willy-nilly. I said, you guys, I'm getting ready to say stop. So,
shoot, yeah, I'm sorry. I should have put that in the chat so we would have known. there was a 91.
No, we're good.
I'm very confused. I'm going to leave it to the host. Scroll to the top.
Okay, I will. Let me double check and make sure we didn't make a mistake. I don't see a 91. Not for George's item.
Okay, I see George do a boy thingy, so I know I had George will give away an ice pick. Stop. Okay, Yvonne put stop entries in for hers, and then there were congratulations, and then there was the new thing, and Ruby Rose put in 87, and
yeah, we're good. I've checked it 3 times between mine and then George starts, and then I put in stop.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wonder if they put in 88 for the first round and thought that just carried through. I'm very confused by this. So I am.
No, we're good.
I am the 7th number.
Next time, this is the way I always do it. I'll just make sure I repeat myself 2 or 3 times before we start for people who might be multitasking.
Okay, well. I am completely confused at this point.
It's Ruby Rose.
Okay. Well, I will write that down. I will wait to hear. Alyssa Callan beginning at 91. I am really, really lost. Yeah, I'm just having a hard time finding some of these. So
I just don't see a 91 in George's section.
I'm sorry that ended up being confusing, folks, but I'll tell you what, for those of you who we don't want anyone to feel slighted. Those of you who didn't get it, who thought you were in part of the thing, send me an email and I'll do something nice for you. How's that?
I do see Melissa with a 91, but it's during my section.
Right. See, that's what I'm thinking maybe was the confusion, is that it started over and all of that. I don't know. I haven't done one of these before, so I'm completely mystified. But anyway, apologize to anybody who felt slighted. And again, you folks who thought you had it and didn't get it, send me an email and I'll try to send you a little something.
No, I'm the one that calls it. So it's, I'm the one that called it, and I'm going to get crunchy, but I say what to do, you guys. So I'm going to get crunchy on this because I don't want anybody to have their feelings hurt or be mad at us, but I say what to do. You have to listen to me. And I feel like I'm careful, and this is the way I always do it. Sometimes I have to do 2 rounds, but it's never really a problem. Excuse me. Oh, I don't want to end on that note. Darn it.
Well, you know what? We will just have more fun later, and we will do this again, and maybe we'll have everybody put their name in a hat before the sale and do it some other way. But for now, we had fun. I hope you all had fun, and I am just so grateful for all of you for staying with us and watching all of this. And I hope that those of you who won are happy with what you got. And we will definitely do this again because it was a lot of fun for us. I'm just so glad to be here with you again.
George, what do you have coming up? And then I'll say what I got coming up, because I do have
Okay, I've got a few things coming up. As far as my YouTube channel, I've got a I've got my regular Monday and Wednesday premieres happening, and that'll be all this month. And I'm going to be showing a lot of interesting things because I'm doing a lot of antique shows here in Florida, and there's some really crazy, incredible, interesting merchandise that is coming in. So you'll be seeing that on my regular channel. I will at some point do something on the live channel. I don't know how the reception is at the estate sale that I'm doing, but if the estate sale gets good reception, then I might do some live updates from there, and that'll be the fourth week of the month that I'll be preparing that. I've got antique shows. If you're in Florida for real world stuff, I'll be in, I was just in West Palm Beach. I will be in Venice, Florida on the Gulf Coast. My only Gulf Coast show of the year is this weekend there. And my show after that is Renninger's Mount Dora, which is a giant show outside of Orlando with about 1,000 dealers. So I know Nurse Flipper's going to come to that one and shop. So you'll see some other YouTubers there as well. And I think that I know I'm missing something and forgetting something else that I'm doing, but I'm sure that I'll update you on my community tab. So just go to my YouTube, the Antique Nomad, the main site, and we'll keep you updated there.
Yes, and for those of you for some reason don't know, I've put his YouTube channel, his main one, and from there you can find the other one. I have my monthly sale with Kat, her floating Wednesday. This month it's the 12th that she has off, so promo will come out for that. I usually do them 2 days in advance so that you guys don't forget. So that's going to be the 12th. Now, as some of you remember, this was 2 months ago, but at American Classics, where my booth is, we were shopping around and I picked out things that you guys wanted and sent it to you. And some lady had the jewelry bags for $12, like 2 pounds. And I bought 3 of them, right? We're going to finally open those and see if it's just broken craft pieces or if we get any goodies out of it. We're going to finally open those, probably do that next Monday or Tuesday. And I've got friend mail. Guess what? I got friend mail piling up. And guess what? This one says from the Antique Nomad.
Oh boy.
I thanked them in advance, but I've been saving it to open with you guys. Some friend mail. Oh my gosh. So we'll do that soon too. Okay, you guys? So yeah, just keep it, if you don't do Instagram or Facebook, then you can watch the community tab here at YouTube, where most of us will post upcoming events as well. Because I know not everyone cares about YouTube or Instagram, but you can follow both of us on there too. You guys know that. All right. You guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This was super fun. I feel really good about what I picked out for you guys because, it seemed to go well. So, but I pay attention to the comments that you guys make on my videos, on my Thrift With Me. I pay attention when you guys say, hey, you missed that, or could I have that? I pay attention and I try to learn. Thanks again, George.
So Mort, much fun. You're still here. Thank you.
I don't know if Zeno's still here, but good night, Zeno. If you're still here too. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Thanks so much.
We're going to end this now, okay? We appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, you guys. Good night.